Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your boy John Altidor with Pro Fan Sports Podcast, where the fans of the pros go. Back at you with another one with my boys Vlad and Barry. What's good, fellas?
Yo. Hey, what's going on, guys? We here episode 25. Another one closer to 50, halfway there. So, yeah, we're feeling good and feeling excited. Got a lot of good stuff to talk about going on in the sports world.
Yes, sir. It's a fully loaded show as always. For the last couple of weeks we've been going pretty hard, with everything that's going on in the sports world. But as always, please make sure you're following us on all social media platforms. And we're on Instagram. That's profans_sports. We're on Twitter, profansports, twitter.com/profansports, facebook.com/profansports. If you like to watch the episodes, we're also on youtube.com/profansports. And as always, we drop every Tuesday morning on all major streaming platforms, and our videos drop on Wednesdays. So be sure to check that out, and make sure, if you'd like to donate to the show, we definitely appreciate that, and you can do that by going to www.profansports.com, and we appreciate everything that you guys are doing out there. But man, fully loaded, man.
Yeah, we are. We do have a fully loaded and a lot of things to talk about, pretty much with all the sports that are going on. So
yes, sir, man. So we got the NBA as always. We got the NFL, MLB, NHL, soccer. We got all that for you. And when it comes to the NBA, we're gonna be going over the NBA playoffs, a couple game sevens between a couple of teams out there, discussing the Eastern Conference and what happened between the last episode and what's going on now, because as you know, everything's going pretty quick. Looking at the pictures that's going on when it comes to the NBA playoffs. Of course, we're going to be talking about the Western Conference, couple of teams going at it right now, as well as the current state of the Celtics playoffs against the Raptors right now, and we'll touch up on what happened their last series, when Barry took out the broom and everything.
Yep.
Some people had won awards this week. A couple of guys came down with some awards, so we'll let you know about that. And some big names in the sports entertainment industry made some funny comments, for lack of better words, so we'll discuss that, and hopefully you stick around for that. And when it comes to the NFL, we're talking Patriots as always, what's going on with them, as well as around the NFL. The NFL is back this week, so we'll talk about that. And this week was cut down week, as well as a lot of players getting signed, so we'll let you guys know about that. And then on to the NHL, where we discussed the Bruins and their demise in the playoffs, the NHL playoffs picture and what's that look like in the conference finals. Jumping on to MLB, letting you know what's going on with the Red Sox, as well as the standings. And then soccer, where Vlad will let you know what's going on. And lastly, B-Money Lifestyle. So let's get to it, fellas. Let's go on to the NBA, man. I think it's safe to say that the NBA did a really great job bringing back basketball. It's been wildly entertaining. The games have looked like quality games, so it's like these guys had a lot of time off, but they came back and, things look pretty good. When it comes to the play in itself, the stars are showing out. Teams are surprising us, and, these games are highly contested, and as always in sports, a lot of unpredictable things happen. There was a couple game sevens, Denver Nuggets versus Utah Jazz, and then Houston versus OKC, which saw Denver come out on top and Houston come out on top. How'd you guys feel about those games?
Man, the Utah versus Denver game, which we've had multiple discussions.
Yeah,
we've had multiple.
You picked Utah, man.
Yeah. We have multiple discussion about that game, that series on the podcast, and and to the surprise of most people, Utah went up 3-1 on Denver, and I thought it was over. Most people thought it was over. There was no way that Denver was gonna go and win 3 games in a row, and that's exactly what they did. That game 7 was one of the best game I've watched in a long time. With
hold on, man.
My bad, fellas.
Let's go back because I don't want that on there.
That game 7 was one of the best game I've watched.
Just start from that game 7. Cool?
Yeah.
My bad. Put your phones on silent if you didn't already. Let's go.
Good. Yep. Yeah, one of the best game I've watched in a while. I think there was like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the game was 68-68. So it was like a low scoring game. It was a defensive game. The players were going at it. And it came down to like literally the last play of the game, and it was exciting. I wish Utah had gone on top, but honestly, after losing 2 games in a row, after losing 2 games in a row, Utah didn't deserve to win. Denver deserved that win because they were down 3-1. They could have gave up and want to get out the bubble and go home, but they came back and they fought hard. As far as the Houston versus OKC matchup, I'm surprised that OKC did that well, but I also I've been bigging up Chris Paul all season for the job he's done over there, and he literally pushed that team to where they got. So I think since Russell Westbrook was injured, I also think that gave OKC what? Oh.
I'm paying attention to what's going on, man.
I thought I said the wrong name.
No, since
Russell Westbrook was injured, I think that gave OKC the opportunity to come back and make it a series. But I think the better team came out on top. So.
Barry, how you feel about that? The game 7s.
Yeah, I mean, thought the game 7s were, pretty good and, really competitive and intense. And, like a playoff basketball game 7 should feel when you get to that 7th game. With the Nuggets and Jazz, that was right. That was a defensive struggle and a kind of game where they both teams had to really grind it out defensively, and buckets were hard to come by. So definitely give Denver credit for coming back 3-1. Unfortunately Utah had a collapse and blew a 3-1 lead. Which is certainly pretty devastating and big blow for that team, particularly Donovan Mitchell, as well as he played in that series, to, lose 3 straight and have a collapse like that is, unfortunate for them. But, as, bad as it was for the Utah Jazz, you have to certainly give the Denver Nuggets credit. They didn't hang their heads and get down and give up like most teams do when they're down 3-1 in the series. They continue to keep battling and keep fighting, and we're able to win 3 games in a row and complete the comeback and move on to the next round. I predicted that Denver was going to win the series in 5. I didn't think it would take them 7 games, but it did, and they were able to to find a way to win, and and other guys stepped up besides Jamal Murray, like Jokic was pretty big in that game. So since they played pretty good defense on Jamal Murray in game 7, but certainly Jamal Murray brought them back into the series with having 3 straight 40-plus point games, in which 2 of those games he dropped 50 points and just absolutely exploded in those games. So he was certainly a big deciding factor in that series. So definitely big shout out to him. And yeah, it's good to see Denver finally win playoff series and and get over them. I know they won a playoff series last year, but to beat an opponent like the Jazz, who are a pretty good team, is certainly good for them, and only going to help them get better as they continue to move on in the playoffs and face the Clippers now. With the other series that went 7 games, the Houston Rockets versus the OKC Thunder. I was a bit surprised with this series that it did well. I'm not that did go 7 games, but that it was as close as it was, and that OKC really had multiple chances to be able to win this series, and particularly in Game 7, and unfortunately they fell short and didn't take advantage of those opportunities they had. Felt like they should have certainly gotten the ball to Chris Paul on that last possession, in which and he should have taken that shot, because I know they gave him the ball, but he passed it up and gave the ball to another teammate. So he should have definitely been more aggressive and looked to for his shot, since he was the one that had it going and is their closer of that team. So but definitely give the credit to the Rockets. I feel like they played pretty good defense and have improved drastically and significantly for that team. I can't believe I'm actually praising the Rockets for their defense. Who would have thought that I'd ever be saying those words, but nonetheless they got the stops when they needed to, and really grinded that game out defensively. And James Harden actually was playing pretty good defense and got the stop of the game, blocking the 3-point shot that would have gave OKC the lead in crunch time. So definitely feel like the better team won in that series, the Rockets, and they deserved to move on. Westbrook came back in time and felt like he did struggle for a bit, but he definitely his energy and intensity definitely impacted that series, and certainly was one of the deciding factors for the Rockets. So definitely shout out to the Rockets for moving on and playing against the Lakers and moving to round 2.
We got to make sure we're not talking too long on these things, because we're already into close to 15 minutes.
Wow.
And we're on the first question, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So if we do that, we'll have like a 4-hour show today.
No, yeah, my fault on that.
I don't disagree with everything that you guys have said so far. I actually felt bad for Vlad, because like you predicted that Utah was gonna win, and when they got out to that crazy start, and I'm like, yo, they're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always for like the underdog anyway, so I didn't mind that Utah was kicking their ass. But I definitely came away from that series with a lot of respect, for some of these guys. Donovan Mitchell, he's special, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that kid, he definitely showed you something.
That's a special player.
He's
Absolutely.
special, man.
Absolutely.
And you can see it, like he exudes like it's like leadership.
Confidence.
You know what I'm saying? Like confidence. Like, and you could see him during the game.
Instinct.
He says, "I want it. I want it." I'm sure you guys seen that game where he's like, "I want this." You know what I'm saying? He gained a lot of respect from me. He offensively carried that team most nights, man. And when he wasn't able to carry that team most nights, he was making plays on the other end where he's getting the assists, and his defense on Jamal Murray every time he was on him. You could tell like those guys, they're ballers.
They were going.
You know what I'm saying? They're going at it, and it kind of had like that old school feel. With those old school games where these guys are just going at it, and the respect they got between each other, man. It was beautiful to see. Beautiful to see them going at it like that every game. He scores 50. Next game, I'm gonna score 50. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's just like the beautiful art of sport, man. Just like watching it, and the person I gained even more respect for was Jamal Murray, man.
Yes.
A couple years ago, he faced the Celtics where he like took that 3-point shot like the last second or whatever when they were already winning the game, and Kyrie Irving made a stink about it. You know what I'm saying? Throwing the ball in the stands and all that stuff. And I came away from that game like, yo, that was an asshole move from Jamal Murray. You know what I'm saying? But this series, he gained a lot of my respect. Like, that dude, he's a baller too, man. Mm-hmm. He has that killer instinct, and for a young player, he has a lot of savviness to his game. The way he handles the rock, man. At the end of the games, like he cares. You can see he cares about the game and cares about winning. And he said something.
He could barely talk after game 4.
Seriously, like
game 6, I think game 6.
And I remember we were talking about Joel Embiid, where he was like, "I still got more to give." You look at Jamal Murray, he don't got shit else to give after the game, bro.
None of these players had shit.
You know what I'm saying? He had nothing left.
Every player in that series put everything on the floor. Like, at the end of the games, they were heartbroken. They couldn't breathe.
Oh, my
they were,
God.
like, catching their breath. Like, everybody put everything on the floor for those that doing that series.
They went all out, balls out, every single game. And it was beautiful to watch, and the way like Jamal Murray showed his leadership, it was like, yo, he's not a young player no more, he's still a young guy, but he's a young vet, and you can see him say, I understand like Nikola Jokic is like right now the face, but like I'm the playmaker on this team. And you could see him.
He stepped up big time.
He stepped up.
Right. That's the closer of that team.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you can tell, like, man, like I was saying, he gave everything, because like at the end, the post game interview, the guy was like, so after this game, are you ready to face the Clippers on Thursday? He's like, whoa. That's on Thursday? He's like, we don't have 2 days off. It's like, damn.
Like, bro.
And I could feel for him, because it's like, yo, this dude just like gave everything he just had.
Anybody that was coming out of that series was gonna feel drained to feel whatever the next team was gonna be.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
They got beat up, and at the same time, I feel like they got more prepared to face the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? Because like they coming back from 3-1 is not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not.
So like when you've done that and you go on to the next series, there's gonna be some confidence left in there for sure, man. And Houston Rockets and OKC, I came out with some respect in that series as well, man. I gained a lot of respect for James Harden. And a lot of those games he played like shit. You know,
He even said it himself.
Yeah, he said it himself. He really played like shit, but
but he played defense for the first time.
Exactly.
Right,
he impacted
finally.
the game
Right.
in other ways, you know, and we've heard him. He's been talking about it, you know. I want to show people that I can play defense. I can do this. I can do that, you know. And he's stepping up and showing it, you know. That was one of the series I thought that was gonna go 7 games, you know, just because I felt like watching OKC this year. They've always been like a gritty team. They've always been in games this season. So I thought like they could push a team, like a high seeding team, to like the brink. And that's exactly what they did. And I thought Dennis Schroeder got screwed by not getting named 6th man of the year, because that dude, he did well for that team this year, man. You know,
he did have a really good year. Absolutely.
I did want to see Houston win, you know, just because the narrative, you know, Russell Westbrook and not being able to get past the first round and all the trials and tribulations, and you know, James Harden not being able to get over the hump. Now they're, you know, teaming up together. So I did want to see Houston win, but I wanted to see a series, and I'm glad I got to see it. And you know, shout outs to Lou Dortz, man. You know,
yes,
he's Haitian. I gotta keep reminding people. I keep saying that shit on social media. It's like I'm obligated to. You know what I mean? So shout outs to him, man. He put up 30 points that last game, man, and he almost won that game for them, dude.
Right,
you know,
facts.
and if it wasn't for like a great play by James Harden,
Smart play.
a smart play, they could have won.
He blocked it, and then he jumped.
And he jumped over the ball, you know, out of the way. So that was great, man. That was just a great. And the defense on James Harden by Lou Dortz, man, that was.
Oh yeah, he was.
He was. He had him on the clamps. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yo, I can't believe this. Like, isn't that dude like undrafted?
Something like that.
Like a G League dude from Canada. Like, I'm like, yo, he's locking James Harden up right now, man. You know what I mean? He's still gonna get his points, but like, he wasn't getting the points like he usually gets the points, you know. So, shout outs to him, man.
Making him work for everything for sure. And it was interesting because when I was watching that game and, you know, saw how well he was playing and how he was going off, and also, you know, like you said, locking down James Harden defensively, I actually thought of you guys because, you know, like you said, he's Haitian, and then like, and then you guys are Haitian as well. So it's like, yeah, he's representing y'all well.
Facts.
And putting on for, you know, all the, you know, the Haitian community out there. Like, he's really, you know, doing his thing, and you know, and gave it his all for sure. He's one of those guys that played his heart out and left it all on the floor. So
absolutely,
yeah. I didn't even really know who it was. I like briefly heard of him before, but like
he made a name.
Right. And then now I definitely know who he is, and you know, and didn't realize he was that good of a player. So
yeah.
You know, big shout out to him for sure. I just wanted to, you know, say that, you know, make that comment about him.
He's a good 3-and-D guy. Like he's a really good 3-and-D guy. You know, he's gonna keep growing. So next year, watch out for OKC, man. Hopefully, Chris Paul stays with them and, you know, still gives them that leadership that they need, because I like him. I think he's a fit for that culture over there. Yeah. So
he is for sure. Right.
He doesn't get along. I feel as though he doesn't get along with other veteran players.
Yeah,
but he plays a really good leadership role for young players.
I feel like he's just one of those dudes that's not afraid to like tell you what's up, no matter what, you know, ranking you're at. You know what I mean? You're James Harden. Play the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, you still gotta play like the right way.
Exactly.
You know,
that's why those two didn't match.
But I feel as though there's a difference between that and what Chris Paul does. I feel as though there's Kobe, which gets on people, and like, you know what I mean, or there's Michael Jordan that gets on people, and then they win. And then I think there's Chris Paul who does that, but one players the wrong way,
right?
And they never achieve anything with it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's definitely good for a young team. I know that.
He's good for a young team, but I don't think players that's been in the league for a while really like him that much.
Yeah, I feel like
for sure.
It's just one of those situations where like he actually knows more than everybody else on the team, and I feel like that shit rubs people the wrong way sometimes. You know what I mean? And
Probably.
listen,
No, it does.
and I can see why James Harden's like, yo, I'm James Harden. You know what I mean? It's like, so like
Exactly.
you still fucked up on that play, you know, and that rubs guys the wrong way. You know what I mean? But
right.
huge respect for Chris Paul. I like the way he advocates for himself, his team. I like the way he pretty much shows his leadership when it came to like the whole NBA going on the little boycott, whatever they did for a couple of days there. So, you know, he's one of the good ones. But
Yep, the point guard. Yep.
yeah, man, in the Eastern Conference, we got some series going on right now, man. Some really surprising ones and some I would say predictable. And I'm talking about the Celtics versus Raptors, who are now tied 2-2. You know, when the series first started, it didn't look like it was going to be this way. And then the big surprise is Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know if it's a surprise to people like us, but like to the general sports fan, it is a surprise what's going on right now. But Milwaukee Bucks is down 3. Well, they're down 0-3 against the Heat, and I mean, even I'm pretty surprised that they're down 0-3.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I knew Miami, you know, could do some things, but I want to hear your thoughts on that. Just talk about these two series a little bit and your thoughts on it, and maybe what you think the series needs or the players need to do to actually achieve their goal.
I mean, I'm very surprised by the Bucks versus Miami series. I did not think Miami was gonna go 3-0. I thought they were gonna give the Bucks definitely a good fight, because I think Miami is a really good team with Jimmy Butler, and you have Spoelstra is a really good coach, and he can coach circles around most of the coaches in the NBA. So I knew he was gonna have a good game plan for them, but he's literally coaching circles around. What's the name of the coach for the Bucks?
Budenholzer.
He's coaching circles around that guy.
I'm coaching him back. Absolutely.
And you know, Jimmy Butler's a dog, man. He's pushing that team. You know, first game 1 he scored 40 points. Game 2 he didn't play that well. Game 3 he pushed them again. You know what I mean? It's been an amazing series for the Heat. And I'm watching them. I remember I was watching game 3, and I think they were down maybe 5 points or something like that. And then once I look back in, they won by 20 points or 15 points or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Miami's been...
I couldn't believe that.
Miami, yeah, exactly.
I couldn't believe that.
I couldn't believe that either.
That's what I was really shocked about too.
Miami's been unbelievable, and the supporting cast for the Bucks hasn't really been playing that well.
Trash.
You know what I mean? They haven't been playing that well. Giannis been doing his thing, but nothing amazing. Nothing like... I feel as though a guy like Giannis, you know, MVP of last season, Defensive Player of the Year, blah, blah, blah. A guy like Giannis, I expect to score 60 points.
Yeah, but... I mean, the whole defense is predicated against. I mean, towards stopping him. You know what I'm saying?
That's because his supporting cast is not doing anything to help him.
So like,
they're not doing anything. But so the reason why I'm not expecting him to score 60 points every game, because
he's not a scorer like that.
That's just pretty hard.
Arsenal.
That's just pretty hard. But I feel as though, you know, if you look at like we were talking about earlier, Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell, those guys lifted up their plays tremendously in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And I expect the same for anybody that's a superstar. You claim yourself a superstar, you claim yourself that guy. I expect you to rise your level of play by that much in the playoffs. And also, I think the coach is not doing a good job managing that team, putting them in position to win. And I think
getting fired.
And you know, he's 100% getting fired. And for example, I feel as though Giannis should be playing a lot more minutes. Like, Giannis is playing regular season minutes right now.
30, 33 minutes,
like,
whatever
that's,
it is.
That's regular season minutes.
6 minutes
like,
he played last game,
I remember, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, LeBron was playing 44 minutes.
every night.
Yeah.
44 minutes.
Absolutely.
44,
There was even one
45.
game in that series where he played the full 48 and didn't come out, and he literally told the coach,
I'm not coming out
the game. You remember
And
that?
that's what I expect from a guy like Giannis.
Absolutely. No, good point, Vlad.
But you know, the Celtics series, we're gonna get into it later. I'll let you guys go, and then I can go once we get into the Celtics series. I can talk about that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'll talk, about the Bucks and Heat series. I'm surprised that the Heat are 3-0, but I'm not surprised that they're leading the series and that they're going to win this series, because I expected and predicted that they were going to win this series before it actually happened. Like when the matchup became official, I knew that I'm like, yeah, the Heat were gonna win this series. I expected them to win this series in 6 games, but I didn't expect that they'd be up 3-0 with a chance to sweep them, which they're most likely going to end up doing, when they play later today. So, I mean, it's certainly, been a really great series for the Heat. Got to give them a lot of credit. Jimmy Butler's been great with that one, with the exception of that game 2. He's, played like playoff Jimmy, like Jimmy Buckets. He's certainly, been the leader of that team that, they need him to be, and has, played like a superstar should play in the NBA playoffs, and then the supporting cast of, those other guys have stepped up and, made plays and made shots when they needed to, like the Tyler Herros, the Duncan Robinsons, the Bam Adebayos, even the, Jay Crowders and the Andre Iguodala's are pitching in here and there when they get their opportunities. So, that's what a good, playoff team should play like and should be doing when you get to this point of the playoffs. So, I mean, the Heat are, and, Eric Spoelstra, can't say enough good things, about him and, the way that he coaches. He's certainly one of the elite coaches in this league and has, done a great job with that team, and really is getting the best out of each one of those guys. So definitely shout outs to the Heat. But the Milwaukee Bucks, guys, what the hell is going on with the Bucks? They're getting their asses kicked.
Yeah.
There's just no other way of saying it. They're getting beat in every aspect of the game and of this series, plain and simple.
Yeah.
These guys just aren't competing. This is not even competitive. I expected a much more competitive and better play on the Bucks end, and it's been an absolute joke what we've seen from the Milwaukee Bucks. We get, Giannis has gotten his numbers and done, what he does. We expect that from him every single night. We expect him to be a walking double-double, to get 30 and 10
that's
easily. That's what you do. That's why you're the MVP and most likely going to be the back-to-back MVP in the coming days once the award is announced. But the other guys aren't doing a damn thing to help him out. The Chris Middleton's
sucks.
Yeah, absolute straight trash and hot garbage. The Eric Bledsoes, the
sucks.
Brooke Lopez, what I'm saying? The list goes on from all the rest of those guys. They've given them absolutely nothing.
And those,
it's been pathetic, pitiful.
And those are guys that have hurt the Celtics in the past.
Exactly.
Chris Middleton has hurt the Celtics in the past.
He plays like Superman every time he plays us.
Yeah.
Eric Bledsoe has hurt the Celtics in the past. It's unbelievable how terrible they are right now.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely, Vlad. No, 100%. And some people even had the audacity and have told me that Chris Middleton's a Celtics killer.
He is.
I mean, dude,
He is.
shoots like 67%
He is.
against us, bro.
Especially from three.
From three.
Absolutely.
He is
yeah.
a Celtics killer. He scored that last 3-pointer in, a couple years ago.
Yeah.
To push a game 7 or whatever.
I think it's some players like they have confidence against certain teams.
Yeah.
So like they know, like Gordon Hayward, he drops 30 on Minnesota like every time he plays them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
it's like Orlando too. You know what I mean? Like
gives Orlando buckets.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as they play like certain teams they've done well against, like they know they can play well, and so they do their thing. And I think some of these guys, man, they're watching a lot of ESPN and shit like that gets in your head, man.
They must.
You know what I mean? Every sports network is saying, "Yo, Miami's gonna take it against the Bucks." You know what I mean? Like if I'm a player on that team and I don't have nothing to do, I'm on my phone 24/7. You know, because we're in the freaking bubble. We can't go nowhere.
Right. Exactly.
You're gonna watch certain things because, like, what else is there to do?
Right,
you know,
you can only practice and get up so many shots in the gym and do so much like basketball things for so long that you're right. You're gonna be spending time in your hotel room in the bubble, and it's like you have to do something else. And you're right. They're letting this talk by the media and all these sports talk shows. They're clearly letting it get to their head because all those guys are badly underachieving. Even the George Hill, that's another guy that usually plays well in the playoffs and a veteran
and against the Celtics.
Right, exactly. Right. A guy that's has a lot of playoff experience, has stepped up in big playoff games. He's done, and another guy that hasn't shown up for this Milwaukee Bucks team. So it is just like, damn, like this is just absolutely sad and a disgrace from what we've seen from the Milwaukee Bucks. And it's crazy because this team's made the playoffs 3 years in a row, and with the same roster, and yet they haven't made the finals once, and particularly having an MVP who's gonna win 2 MVPs in a row, most likely. It's just it's really bad, and it's a shame that they're wasting Giannis MVP's years, and and they're not performing the way they need to perform in the playoffs. They almost seem like they're a regular season team, and they're like those Atlanta Hawks teams or those Toronto Raptors teams that used to play well in the regular season, and then they get to the playoffs and they don't do a damn thing, and they just choke and don't show up, and their level of play just drastically goes down.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I'm not somebody that's gonna make excuses for Giannis, but like, he definitely gets it during the postseason, man, and they know that's what makes the team go. So they're loading up on him, and like I said, I'm not making no excuses for him because like they do that on everybody. All the stars, they load up on him. Kawhi's getting the same treatment. LeBron, AD, they're all getting the same treatment.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But definitely, man, his supporting cast have disappeared. I think his coach is definitely trash. Like, no adjustment whatsoever.
Oh,
like,
every another Brett Brown,
exactly. Every postseason, it's the same shit. You can't play the same way you played in the... Like, you can play the same way, but, like, you got to change your actions. You got to make sure you create plays for your top guys to get open. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got to work with young... I mean, I'm sure they're working with them, but, like, it's like... the game needs something else right now. Throw a little wrinkle in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you watch all the other teams, when something's not working, they change to something else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Create space in a different type of way. That's your job as a coach to identify, like, the matchups, the plays that work for you, and, like, emphasize those and make sure that, your team's on the same page. And I don't know, man. The guys have definitely underachieved. I'm definitely disappointed because I'm somebody that likes to see a series. You know, like I don't want this to be a sweep. Like it
right,
doesn't look good. You know,
no,
like
it doesn't.
You know, you're Giannis.
You shouldn't be getting swept in the playoffs. Point blank. Period.
You're Giannis, but like at the end of the day, the NBA knows like the Bucks are not like the face of the league. Like if you've been watching, the Bucks have been playing at like 1 o'clock. You know, the last series, the last round, the round one. They played at 1 o'clock like every game.
Yeah, they did get along.
You know, and they were
playing
never
against the Magic though.
It don't matter, man. It's like the MVP.
So that's
is
a trash
playing.
series.
The MVP is playing. Like you ever. What if the Lakers, for example, you know what I mean, we're playing the Magic? You think they're gonna play them at 1 o'clock?
No, because they got LeBron James and
exactly,
AD.
bro. So it's like the league is basically telling you, like, you know, Giannis still has some work to do. He's definitely not the face, you know, of the league.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're telling me. I think they're telling me that the Bucks are a small market team.
Exactly, that's one.
Another
but
good
like
point. Yeah.
at the end of the day, you know, Giannis is just not bringing in like what they need him to bring in. I guess. I don't know, man. It's just like seems weird for the MVP to be playing at 1 o'clock every day when people are at work, you know. And then you see who's headlining the games at 9 o'clock. It's LeBron every time, or the Rockets, or you know, one of those teams.
Western Conference,
you know what I mean, or the Clippers and Mavs. Like those guys were headlining everything, you know.
Right. They get the prime time games. Right.
Yeah, man. Seriously, but I definitely am disappointed in that. And there's been a lot of rumors that's came out, you know, while this series is going on. You know, the odds that Giannis stays with the Bucks, where he could end up, and you know, we got the Raptors and the Heat that's mentioned a lot from there. You know, have you guys heard the rumors, and how do you feel about it? You guys think Giannis will be leaving, or would you stay if you were him, or would you leave?
He is bound to make $250 million if he stays with the
Bucks.
Yep.
And that's a lot of money to walk away from. But I feel like just a guy like Giannis wants to win. As much he might still get $200 million from somebody else. So I can definitely see him leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like, you know, he's a loyal guy. He's said in the past that he has loyalty inside his DNA, to quote that Kendrick Lamar song. You know, but I think he's gotten to a point in his career and where he's at right now, where he, you know, certainly, you know, he needs to win. It's all about winning for him. He's achieved all the individual accomplishments that you could achieve to this point. And I think that, yeah, he could certainly leave. You know, I think there's a chance of him staying, but I think it's certainly, you know, more likely than not that he ends up leaving the Milwaukee Bucks and going to another team.
Yeah, man. I mean, I definitely wouldn't like to see it. I'd like to see him stay on the Bucks. Just because, you know, I'm one of those guys that like to see guys start something and finish it where they started it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm kind of old school like that. And it's not like the team sucks, you know. The team is good. You know what I mean? They're ripping off 60 games a year. You know what I'm saying? They're winning at least 55. Right. You know, so like it's not like the team sucks.
Right.
The team is good. It's just like I feel like they're missing a couple pieces. And the head coach, absolutely. Because it's the same head coach that was in Atlanta that got killed every time. You know, the 60-win teams that just like got swept.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it looks like he hasn't learned from his time there. And some coaches are great regular season coaches, and some coaches are great all-around coaches. You know what I'm saying? And I think you need to go out there and find you a great all-around coach, man. And, you know, I know Ty Lue's out there. Mark Jackson's out there. Yeah. You know, some of the names that are out there that I feel like could go over there and take over. But they absolutely need to do something. I don't think, like I said, I don't think Giannis needs to leave. I'm not leaving $50 million on the table. You know what I mean? I don't. Listen, you got one career, man. You know,
right. Exactly.
I get the biggest bag as possible. I understand, like, we play to win, But I feel like you could still do that in Milwaukee. Just by getting the right pieces, man. Get the right front office people that are gonna make some trades that help you out, man. I think them trading Michael Brogdon was absolutely fucking terrible. Because they're missing a creator.
Free agent, or did he trade? I think they let him go in free agency, Malcolm. But they should have made more effort to.
I forgot what happened with that, but like they should have re-signed that kid because he's like your one creator. Great on defense, great with the assists, great with creating his own shot.
Came back,
you know what I mean?
Came back and eliminated the Celtics last year.
Exactly.
Absolutely,
So like,
yeah.
I feel like that's killed them over the years. And Eric Bledsoe, he ain't it, man. I don't care. Like he's a stocky dude. He's fast. He's good on D and whatever. But
Scary Terry took care of him a couple years
exactly.
ago.
Took him out, bro.
And then
gave him buckets.
That was the end of it.
Yeah, that's why Scary Terry thought he was like the fucking man, like the second coming of Jordan or some shit.
Right, that's when the Scary Terry thing started too, right? And he started making those T-shirts and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But we'll see what happened. But we do have a question this week from my boy Heavy.
Big shout out to Heavy.
Right, from True Era.
What's his name?
Heavy, that's his name, bro.
That's his actual name, Heavy.
We in the streets with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We with the heavy camp.
That's what they call him.
You heard?
I know it's funny, but
Is that his name?
No, that's not his name,
No,
man.
it's not his name, but that's just what everyone
You know what I mean?
him. Everyone refers to him as that.
He doesn't want his real name out there.
Listen, it's Mr. Heavy to you, okay? Listen, Mr. Heavy, we appreciate the question, brother.
Big shout out to Heavy, my guy.
Nah, he's actually the head of True Era, or at least like he's really up there.
Right.
And he has a lot of things going on around the city, as far as like entertainment and
True Era.
True Era.
True Era, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's his brand.
That's his brand.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, man. Check him out, dude. True Era.
Yeah,
he's on everything.
I was thinking of New Era.
Nah, it's the True Era.
The hat company.
Oh, no. It's just True Era Entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what he does, and that's his this brand that he runs. So definitely big shout out to them. Big shout out to the Crown Squad crew and and the Turn Up Kings crew as well. So
yeah,
he's also a part of those as well, and I'm even a part of that too.
You in the gang?
Kings.
Yeah, I know. He's in the gang.
No gang. No gang. It's just
I thought you were shouting out your gang.
That's what he was doing.
That's what it sounded like, right?
Yeah,
I'm not a gang, guys. I'm not about that life. That's not the B Money lifestyle.
He be with Scary Terry and them, yo.
I don't be chilling with them. I be seeing about the Celtics team when they used to be over here, but I don't, chop it up or chill with them. But those are my people. So just wanted to give a shout out to Crown Squad and Turn Up Kings and True Era as well. They're definitely doing big things and and holding it down for the city. So, definitely big ups to them.
Yeah, facts though. I actually went to high school with that dude. I think he might be.
Went to high school together?
Yeah, he might be a little older. We went to CRLS. Shout out to CRLS, man. But let's get to the question that he asked, which relates to what we were just talking about when it comes to when it concerns Giannis. And his question was, what are the top 5 potential landing spots for Giannis if he does choose to leave?
So my top 5 teams that he might go to, I'm gonna say 1, the Bucks. I think he could potentially stay there.
Yeah.
Miami. I think that's another great landing spot for him. I think if he goes to Miami, then it's a problem.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Celtics. We have a problem.
Jimmy? Oh God.
I think he can go to oh my God, Minnesota. I think he can go to Minnesota. I think he can go to the Warriors. And then last one. Oh, what was my last one? I can't remember my last one, but you can come back to me.
You ready, Barry?
Yep. So in my top 5 in no particular order, for the teams that Giannis could potentially go to are one, the Miami Heat, the Toronto Raptors.
That was my fifth one. Toronto Raptors. Oh my God,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Another one is the Warriors. I'll go with the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
Another one, the Portland Trailblazers.
Ooh.
Interesting. Right. It makes you think.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Can you imagine that, dude?
Ooh,
Dame
and Giannis,
Dame
the
and
freaks,
Giannis?
the Griffin. Oh man, and then McCollum too. Oh man,
Can you afford all those guys?
We'll have to look on
paying,
that.
I think they're paying. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
They're paying both their guards.
That's a
They pay both
different
their
conversation,
guards.
Yeah, they already got their contracts and got.
But it's like they're paying that Lillard like $54 million.
It's the
But
NBA.
anyways,
Well,
yeah,
they're giving them the super max, but
Yeah.
right, damn, 54 mil.
Exactly.
I didn't realize you.
Anyways,
making
but
that much.
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, no worries. And then the other team, last but not least, is current team, the Milwaukee Bucks. So yeah, those are my top 5 teams: Heat, Raptors, Blazers, Warriors, and Bucks.
Yeah, for me, I think just because I feel like Giannis is like a prideful dude, and like he just the way he represents himself, I feel like he's one of those old school dudes that's like, I'm not trying to join the competition kind of thing. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things he said before. Like he's not gonna do something like that. So
Right.
definitely the Bucks is my number one right there. If they talk to him about bringing in a new coach, talk to him about some trades to get something. At least a solid number 2 out there, because I don't think Chris Middleton is a number 2. I think Chris Middleton is like a number 3, 4.
Yeah.
As far as like people taking the shots and stuff like that.
And he's making money.
He is making money, dude.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So the Bucks is definitely one for me. Toronto is the next one, but I think that depends also on like Jeff Van Vliet and where he goes. For the off season. But I think they definitely got a good core over there playing with Ibaka. Ibaka definitely needs a number 1 because he's not one. And then
Siakam.
Not Ibaka. I meant Siakam for sure. Because Ibaka is definitely too old to be.
As I was saying, Ibaka being the number 1.
Nah, we're not even thinking about Ibaka. He's almost out the league. Siakam's definitely not a number 1, so I could definitely see him there. Another team I'd like to see. Because I know he's not small. He's not afraid of small markets. Phoenix, I like Phoenix with Devin Booker.
And D-Book? Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
him and D-Book, right there. What else? What's another team right there? Miami is one of them right there. But at the same time, I think like if Miami sweeps them, I think he's gonna have that ego and learn from the whole KD
thing,
situation.
Right. He doesn't want to be a KD 2.0, right?
He definitely doesn't want that. So,
but people will give him a pass because Miami didn't win 3 out of the 4 championship before or 2 out of. You know what I mean?
Like, in that aspect, people would be more okay with it.
The Warriors had won like multiple championship before KD,
but I feel like
they had one
championship.
They invented 2 straight finals. But no, I hear what you're saying, that they hadn't like become an elite powerhouse team in the league yet. Right.
Yeah, but I think he would definitely think twice about that. If he did get swept by them,
it's a bad look.
It's definitely a bad look. I don't care, if it's in the finals or whatever it is. It's just a bad look. Now, I think KD set that standard. Like, don't go to a team you just lost to.
Yeah, don't be a snake.
You see how we treat people like that. And the last one's probably going to be surprising to you guys. The Celtics, man. I feel like
really.
I've heard of that before.
JT.
You've heard that?
Giannis.
Wow.
Those 3 guys right there trade everybody else. All right, you can bring in other pieces.
You guys already know who I'm sending first.
Oh yeah, you're sending Gordon. And
right. Without a doubt.
Would I take a Giannis? Would I take a Giannis package with like a Gordon, a freaking Romeo Langford, a first round, a second, whatever? Send those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's what we're missing right now in the postseason. We need like a big guy that can man stuff. Athletic guy that can take the lobs. We see Robert Williams does that in spurts, and he looks fucking great doing it. Imagine if that's Giannis. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that just because it's like the Celtics. I just feel like Celtics are one of those teams that need like an actual true big. An actual athletic true big that can do certain things. And who's better than other than AD? Who's better than Giannis? You know what I'm saying?
Not really anyone.
And I feel like that's a team he could actually afford to play 33 minutes on, as opposed to the Bucks, where that dude definitely needs to be playing 40 minutes.
At least 40.
At least.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know?
40.
Oh, yeah.
No
doubt.
But that's my thoughts on it, man. So heavy, man, heavy camp. We appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you, Heavy.
Yeah, that was a good discussion.
It was definitely.
How about you, Heavy? Let us know what you think his five best landing spot might be.
Absolutely.
Yes, hit me back up. Hit us back up and let us know your answer to that question. But thank you for the question, Heavy. That was a really good one.
The last question of the week, did that person send us any answers?
Yes, they did. I'll actually have to let y'all know the answer. He hit me back up and DM me and send me his top 5 NFL stadiums.
Okay, so in the NFL, you'll update us.
Yeah.
Make sure
right for the NFL segment. I'll pull that up and have that for when we talk about the NFL later on the show.
Okay, cool. But again, thank you for the question, man. We appreciate that. But some other things that's definitely happening. Western Conference, the second round has started. Los Angeles versus Houston Rockets. Houston surprised us and took number 1. I don't know if that's such a surprise. For some of us, Los Angeles Clippers versus the Denver Nuggets. The series is tied 1-1. The Nuggets won last night, and Clippers won the game 1, obviously. So, do you guys have any thoughts on those series? And
it's gonna be a long series for the Lakers. I think that series can go get to 7 games. Because I know LeBron is LeBron. You know what I mean? LeBron. As much we all can hate LeBron or whatever, but that dude is a dog. He's not gonna get he's not gonna get swept. You know what I mean?
Way.
Like that would be the surprise of the bubble if that happens.
Oh, no, without question.
That's not happening. I think they're coming back really hard next game. But I think that series can go 7 games, 6 or 7 games. The series versus Denver and the Clippers. If the Clippers had won last night, I would have said we might be in for another sweep. But hey, look at what Denver did. Denver played really well last night. So I think that series. I think we're gonna have 2 really good series. 2 really good series that might go 6 or 7 games. I think both of them might go 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. These are certainly top 4 teams in the West without question. All teams deserve to be here and are really good. With the first series, was a little bit surprised that the Rockets won just because they were in a similar situation like the Nuggets, coming from a long, hard-fought, tough, intense series that took a toll on them and took a lot of energy out of them. So I thought they were gonna, come out flat like the Nuggets came out flat in game 1, but they certainly did not do that and played, better than I thought and played really well and then won that game. So definitely give them credit. But that's definitely certainly going to be a pretty long series. But I still think that, I'll give the Lakers the edge in that series and they'll certainly find a way to win that series. And, I expect LeBron and AD to play much better Then they did in game one, particularly in the fourth quarter, where LeBron James had 0 points, which baffles me and amazes me that a guy like that could go scoreless in a quarter, particularly a fourth quarter. But nonetheless, that will certainly be a really good series, and certainly the Lakers will play better, much better in game two, and will probably take that game. It'll be. I can see that series going at least 6 games, if not 7. So going to the other series, the Clippers and the Nuggets, felt like the Nuggets who were really tied and gassed from game one, and they clearly showed it. So the Clippers took full advantage of that. But I like the way they came back and responded in game two. After losing game one, they certainly showed that they're, worth being here, and worth a formidable opponent for the Clippers, and that it's not going to be an easy series for the Clippers to beat them. So that will certainly be another long series. I think the Clippers will take that in 6 games, but another series I could see also going 7. As well, because Denver is a really tough matchup for the Clippers, and their size can give them a lot of problems down low.
Yeah, for me, Los Angeles and Houston, James Harden versus LeBron James. Yeah, I think that game right there is. I don't think it's gonna go long. I think it's gonna be kind of like against the Blazers, Lakers against the Blazers, where they took game one, and then Lakers came back and imposed their will pretty much on a nightly basis. I think they're just so big, dude, against Houston, and I feel like LeBron always has that feel out game. That number one game, they always have that feel out game where they're just like going at it, seeing what it's like. I feel like for LeBron, period, that's how he plays. Sometimes
that's definitely his approach.
He's been in the playoffs so many times, dude. He just like doesn't panic sometimes. I feel like.
You think that's his approach?
Oh yeah, I mean, throughout the years, he's always said that,
Nah, I've seen him go in game one and make sure he wins game one, because if he wins game one, he's closed out the series.
Yeah.
Like, for example, in the finals a couple years ago when JR made that stupid mistake, he could not believe that, because he felt as though if he had won game one, it would have been a series.
Yeah, but I feel like it depends on circumstance, you know what I'm saying?
I guess it does.
Like, I feel like he's played lesser teams for a long time, in the Eastern Conference and stuff like that.
He's swept the Raptors multiple times.
He has.
Yes, but that's nothing to him. He sweeps them in his sleep. That's light work to him.
But I feel like he's always said that, he has feel out games.
Absolutely.
I just think, they're gonna match the tempo that the Houston Rockets are going with in the coming games, and I think he's just gonna be more prepared. He's gonna talk to his team about certain things, and like he's just a dog, man, and he definitely elevates, during the playoffs. And I think sometimes, like they think it's kind of like too easy sometimes, and like doesn't come out full force like they should the first game and stuff like that for some reason. And I don't know. I'm thinking I'm gonna see a different series come the next game, which is happening today. So we'll see how that happens. But I see that series not going more than 6 games. Yeah, in my opinion. And the Clippers and Denver, I feel like Denver is battle tested right now. They got the confidence last game. They're 1-1, so like I feel like that's very good. I hope the Clippers don't just like rest on the fact they have the Kawhi Leonard and stuff like that, because he's getting buckets put on him too by Jamal Murray. So like if you were watching last night, man, that step back boy,
you seen that? Oh,
yeah, that was nasty. That was nasty.
I was filthy.
I definitely would like to see a game 7 for that game right there, for that series right there. But as we know, if Paul George is doing his thing, not many teams are gonna match the Clippers, you know, because we know Kawhi's gonna come out there and drop 25 and 10, whatever he always does.
At least 30,
you know what I'm saying? So we know that's gonna happen, and they have 2 6-man of the year candidates, man. It's just like they got firepower. They definitely got that. So we'll see what happens, but I'm looking for good series. But let's talk about the Celtics and the Raptors series. I know, Vlad, you said that, you know, we were gonna leave it for later. So right now, the Raptors and Celtics are tied 2-2.
Yeah.
And you know it's a hard fought series. Some interesting things have happened. You know, right now we're definitely missing Gordon Hayward. And you know we'll get to that in a second. But what are your thoughts? You know, from game 1 through game 4.
Unbelievable series. In a gut wrenching kind of way. Game 1 we watch here. While we were recording the last podcast, and we left pleased with what the Celtics did. We left just thought the Celtics had a really good game plan, and they executed it pretty well. And if they kept doing that, we would have won each game. Game 2 was a streaky kind of game. We had some good quarters and not so good quarters, and I think those 5 threes that Marcus Smart made definitely pulled us out of that game. I think we could have lost that game as well, but I think Marcus Smart was really big in that game.
Yeah.
Tatum is that the game that Tatum didn't have such a good game, or is it
that was game 3, I believe.
Game 3. Game 2. What's his name was struggling. Kemba Walker was struggling, but in the fourth quarter, him and Marcus Smart bailed us out in the fourth quarter. And that was good. That was exciting. We're 2-0. Not that we couldn't have been 2. Not that I was surprised that we were 2-0, but it was a really good feeling to be 2-0. Game 3. We played a really close game. The Raptors came out with energy. Kyle Lowry was driving to the basket because game 1 and 2 he was trying to make threes and the threes weren't falling. So game 3 after he decided, you know what, I'm gonna attack the paint. He did, and that kept the Raptors in the game. Mm-hmm. But in the fourth quarter, I think we were up by 4 points with maybe 3 minutes left. And we had multiple chances to extend that lead to 6 to 8, almost to an 8-point lead. And every time we missed it, I was like, damn it, I know they might win this game. Every time we miss an opportunity to increase that lead by 6 or 8 points, I just had this bad feeling that, oh man, you know, something bad might happen with the last minute of that game. And the play that Kemba had where he made this beautiful pass to Daniel Tice, and Tice gave us the lead.
I thought it was over.
And that was the game. There were 0.5 seconds left, which is half a second. And I was talking to Barry earlier. Barry told me that in order to get your shot up, you need 0.4 seconds to put your shot up.
No, it takes
0.4 seconds to get your shot up. So to me, I was like, the game is over. But you know what told me the game wasn't over?
What was that?
Because I think I was looking at my phone while Brad Stevens was, you know, getting the play ready. And then
the defense.
And then I heard the announcer said, Taco Fall is in the game. What?
I know you guys missed
Whoa! Are
you kidding me, right?
I need to watch this. I need to watch what Brad Stevens is trying. I mean, it could be smart because, you know, Brad Stevens has drawn really smart plays, and I was like, okay, I want to see this. I want to see how this goes.
Right.
And then I saw Taco Fall out there looking like he could not guard an inbound pass. I don't know. He wasn't jumping high enough for me. I feel as though I don't know. My feeling was this does not look good. This does not look good. And then Jaylen Brown sagged off, and What's his name took the shot?
OG Anunoby.
OG Anunoby took the shot, and I was like,
OG Anunoby, bitch. Nah, that's a joke. That's a joke.
Oh, Lord,
that was unnecessary.
Right. Why did you have to go there?
No, I heard it somewhere the other day, and I'm like,
but
no
we have some
disrespect.
Canada and
No
Toronto
disrespect.
fans. Right. Don't upset them.
Don't hate me.
But he took that shot, and I was
professional.
like, he has to miss, and he made it, and I could not believe it. I'm a very calm person. If I wasn't a calm person and I was ill-tempered, I'm pretty sure I would have broken my laptop, and I could not believe what I just saw. Because I knew there was an opportunity for that to happen, but I did not know it was going to happen. I was like, there's an opportunity. This might happen, but there's no way this happens. And boom, it happens. Unbelievable. And then game 5 yesterday.
Game 4
Game 4 yesterday. Sorry, game 4 yesterday.
Game 5 yet.
Since the beginning of the game, I had a bad feeling. I just felt as though the Raptors' energy was bigger than our energy. They came out. They were making all their shots. They were making their threes. Ibaka was having a good game. Lowry was driving to the paint. Siakam is still not. He had a better game 4, but I feel as though Jalen Brown's been doing his thing on Siakam.
Yeah.
He's been doing his thing on Siakam.
Yeah.
But Lowry had a good, Lowry's driving that team, and they had a really good game on game 4. They deserve that win. But we had the chance. We had the chance to go 3-0. If we had gone 3-0 in game 3, I almost guarantee it last night would have been the last game of that series. I almost guarantee it last night because once you're up 3-0,
would have swept the defending champs.
It's really hard for you to come back sometimes when you're done 3-0. You know what I mean? Like 3-1 is different than 3-0. 3-1 you're like you won one games, but 3-0 it's like, yo, the Celtics would have been more confident.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Raptors would have been less confident. Mm-hmm. And it was a Saturday night. We had the opportunity. Brad Stevens would have gave those guys the speech of speeches. You know what I mean?
Even though they're not wrong for that, but I'm sure he would have done that. They'd have done something like that.
No, when I say Brad Stevens would have given them the speeches, he doesn't have to give it. He could have brought, I don't know, Bill Russell to give the speech. He could have. He could have bought anybody to give it because he bought Bill Belichick once to give the speech. I think for the last series.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so
he did bring for
he would have.
Good
He would have
yeah.
made sure we closed out that series last night, and it would have been enjoyable. It would have been the most beautiful thing I've seen. The Celtics sweep 2 series back to back. It would have been. I would have been in. I don't know. I just would have been really excited.
Ecstatic, right?
Yeah. I was gonna use,
even brought my broom too, and
I was gonna use another word, but I would have been pretty excited.
So yeah, this has been an interesting and back and forth series with what we've seen from both of these teams. The first 4 games, we've seen obviously in game 1 we saw the dominating performance by the Boston Celtics and blowing out the Raptors by 20 and pretty much having complete control from that game from start to finish. And we were certainly, when we saw that last week, we were all happy about the way they played, but we knew and understood that was most likely not going to happen in game 2, since we knew that the Raptors were going to play much better and come out harder and with more energy and intensity, which they did in game 2. But certainly the Celtics were able to match that energy and intensity that the Raptors came out with in game 2, and they were able to withstand that and certainly play well enough to win. They made the plays when they had to and made the shots when they had to make them. Certainly the turning point in game 2 was when Marcus Smart hit those 5 threes in a row, which was incredible and mind-blowing that a guy like that, who's not known for his offense and his shooting, could, at a critical time of the game, he could make 5 shots in a row and change the whole complexion of that game in which he did. And then even though he struggled, I felt like, Kemba Walker, played better in the fourth quarter and made some big shots and big plays, especially with that step back jumper that was the dagger and that closed that game out in game 2. So I was certainly happy with the way they had played the first 2 games, the Celtics, and it, in that they were up 2-0 in the series. They were up 2-0 in the series. We, it certainly felt like they'd, been able to take that punch from Toronto that they were going to get and, punch back and respond, in which they did, and certainly, looked like they had a good handle on the Raptors in terms of, knowing how to, defend them and neutralize their key guys, and Siakam and Kyle Lowry and Van Fleet. Those guys were pretty much in the first 2 games held in check and didn't really go off and dominate like the Raptors needed them to if they were going to, win, any of the first 2 games. But, and unfortunately, the last 2 games have been a completely different story. I mean, game 3 was, it was a back and forth game. Felt like we played okay. We honestly could have played better. There were a lot of, mistakes that we made in that game and turnovers that, we made, and certainly, kept the Raptors in it and gave them, it gave them more confidence that they could, win the game, since we didn't finish strong and didn't play well, particularly in that fourth quarter and in crunch time. So and certainly we had our chances to win that game, and we didn't take advantage of those chances. And if you don't do that against the defending champs and a team like the Toronto Raptors, they're, and let them hang around, they're gonna eventually find a way to win and beat you, and that's, what they did. That last play in game 3 was, absolutely unacceptable, and and then can happen, and particularly in that situation, you got to be more aware and alert of, of that situation, and certainly, can do that and can be, losing guys and coverage and leaving them open, regardless of who it is. And, certainly that was the case on that last play, and that pretty much changed the whole series, and it gave the Raptors the, momentum and the belief and the confidence that they can come back and win this series and, beat the Celtics, since they hadn't beaten us in a while. We've won the last, few games against them in the regular season and postseason, and then finally when once they hit that shot, it gave them the new life that, that they needed, and it changed things around. In game 4, it was a very disappointing performance in their worst game by far for the Celtics. Was very, discouraged with, the way they played. I thought that they would come out harder and play with a lot more energy and intensity and be a lot more focused and locked in than what they were last night. I don't think there were any of those, and especially with the way that game 3 ended, you thought that would have motivated them, and they would have came out with more of a sense of urgency, which they certainly didn't. And all those things I said, it was Toronto that was the team that looked like that, and not the Celtics. And they played a far better game than us and deserved to win that game, and now have tied up the series at 2-2. And to me, I feel like even though it's 2-2, I feel like the series is kind of lost, and and it feels like Toronto's got a really good chance to win this series, and I think that's what's gonna happen. Is that
the momentum switch, huh?
Yeah, drastically. It's significant. It was night and day, and just over like that, Toronto just took it all, and and we know how big momentum is in the playoffs, and especially for a team like that, for Toronto, for them to be able to tie up that series, it's huge, and now it's a brand new series, and I certainly think that Toronto is going to win and take this series, and not only are they going to win and take this series, they're also going to win and take this series in 6 games.
Oh my God!
Oh yeah.
I think last Sunday you said Celtics in 6, didn't you?
I did say Celtics
oh my
in 6,
God!
but I didn't realize that the series and the games were gonna go the way that.
See how one play changed the whole
series? It did.
Oh my!
Absolutely.
I'm still upset at that play.
Me too. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm still upset.
No, it's very frustrating and very discouraging to see that play and to see the Celtics let that happen, and for a miscommunication and defensive breakdown at the most critical time, for that to be able to go the way it did and transpire. It's just, I don't know what the word for is, but it certainly doesn't give you a good feeling if you're a Celtics fan. And
Barry didn't say he was gonna drop a bomb.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I know. I mean, gonna leave that, but I was like, let me just get it out there now. And
this is where we need a bomb drop.
Listen, I think this whole series, man, I think it's just been a series of like confidence thing. It's like a confidence thing, right? I think we came in pretty confident.
Yep.
And the first game gave us that confidence, right?
Yep.
I think the second game, that's a game we could have lost, but we know what happened with Smart. He went off and ripped those things. And one thing I disagree with is everybody's like so surprised. Like I get it. At that time it happened. It was a surprising thing, but I feel like Marcus has, games where he rips like a lot of threes, back to back, or not even a lot of threes, a lot of shots back to back, and it's like, that's like Marcus's own little, part of the game where
he's a streaky shooter.
He's streaky, you know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like they made like a huge deal about it. Did I think he was gonna get 5 in a row? No, but was I so surprised the way he did it?
Boy, was it exciting! Boy, was it exciting!
Oh, it sure was. Absolutely.
And
I was jumping up my seat.
Right, me too.
I was texting you guys.
Yo, I kept saying, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't believe that. So like, I think that's definitely a game we could have lost, but Marcus did his thing, and sometimes that's what happens in basketball, man.
In playoffs,
Game 3, I thought we played a great game. I thought it was back and forth. Say what you want, but like our teams are like pretty similar, and we match up well. So like, I don't expect the Celtics to go out and blow out this team every game.
Yeah.
So I do expect like a highly contested game. So I thought it was a back and forth game, and we played well enough to win the game, man. And I felt like Brad, I don't know why he went into a zone at the end there. Because if you man everybody man to man, 5.5 seconds left, there's no way if you're man to man with somebody with 0.5 seconds, they're gonna, make a move and then get a shot off. You know what I mean? Like the way it happened, it had to be perfect. Drop it in, shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was perfect. And I feel like if they had a man-on-man scheme out there, there's no way he gets that long.
Even if even if there wasn't a man on Laurie, somebody was double team, and then everybody held up. It would have been.
I mean,
really
Lowry
hard.
Can't do anything but pass the ball.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that would have been my play. My play would have been to double Siakam or Anunoby, and then play one-on-one on everybody else.
Listen.
And then have
Laurie tried to find with the guy that's open.
I saw Taco come in the game, but I felt like he was put in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like he should have been in the center of the paint, like to prevent a lob at the at the rim. You know what I'm saying? And just let somebody make a play, and I felt like it was just an unfortunate thing that happened, man.
Yeah,
I thought we definitely won that game when I saw 0.5 seconds. I'm like, 0.5 seconds, we won that game.
That's what I said.
What?
I was on my phone.
It was in the bag. Right.
Yeah, and I couldn't believe that they lost that game.
I was on my phone. I was like, yeah, man.
And I think yesterday's game was a game that the Celtics completely lost because they didn't set the tone at all.
No.
Toronto set the tone the whole game
From the start.
Absolutely.
They didn't keep a lead for more than for more than a minute.
Yeah.
Facts.
They took a 2-point lead, then Toronto came right back.
Right.
Now,
Facts.
and Kyle Lowry looks like he wants it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Another thing that I thought was what were you gonna say?
I'm just upset, but keep going.
Kyle Lowry, Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet look like they're playing to win the game. Okay, like everything that they do tells you. VanVleet moves so much, dude. You gotta know where that dude is at all times.
Move a lot
I don't care what's going on. Okay, he plays like Curry.
I call him Little Drake.
Huh?
I call him Little
Baby Drake, right? Baby Drake. Yo, this dude moves all over the court, and you know he has a wet shot. So, like, you need to stick with that guy 24/7. Anunoby, I know he's not, the top 3, whatever, on the team, but, like, the whole series, he's been shooting the three-point well. Why are you not defending the three-point line?
He's been one of the most consistent players for them.
Effective player for them this whole season.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Every game he's done his thing so far. Like, how do you let a guy go like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
well, Brad Stevens came out. He said, "Oh, the zone has worked for us."
I don't give a damn what.
Oh yeah,
we've gone to that zone a lot this year, and it's been effective. Right?
But you haven't lost.
Obviously, game 3.
You haven't lost somebody like that in the on the baseline. And if that's the case, if your shit's been working all year, why are we putting Taco in the game?
Yeah, it wasn't.
That's true. In those zone coverages,
Why are we putting
never out
Taco
there.
in the game? He's never out there.
Right. No,
And I think
that's true.
If you think about the games we've won, like, why is Taco out there?
One thing about Game 3 as well, usually in the first quarter, he puts in Robert Williams.
Yeah.
Game 3, instead of Robert Williams, he put in Ojale.
Yeah,
And I wasn't happy about that because I feel also in Game 1, Game 2, when he put Robert Williams out there in the first quarter, Robert Williams usually score 6 points, easy loss.
Yeah,
and I saw
a pick and roll.
I saw Ojale in the game before Robert Williams, and I was like, what is he doing? Because I feel as though he was trying to do something to change, to not be predictable, be predictable. But I feel as though keep doing what works until they stop it.
Facts. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
And I think my last point is, not my last point. One point I forgot to make about Game 3. At one point, Jason Tatum was on the bench for mad long, yo. And I'm like, yo, Jason Tatum should be playing 40, 42, 43 minutes a game.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't...
Right.
Like, the guy is 22.
Yeah,
he can play 42 minutes a game, bro. Okay,
Absolutely.
Nick Nurse is playing Kyle Lowry 44 minutes, 45 minutes per game. Okay, and Kyle Lowry is 35. All right, so like
33, 34. But I get your point, though.
Whatever.
He's a lot older.
He's
than
old.
Jason Tatum.
Okay, so like
No, but credit to him, he don't play like he's old.
Listen, he definitely Jason Tatum needs to be out there more minutes. Okay, we need him to take more shots. We need Kemba to take more shots. Like, taking 9 shots in a playoff game is unacceptable.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, for Kemba.
That was real
like, you
bad.
can't.
Even though
you
he
can't
hasn't
do
been
that.
shooting it well, you got to keep shooting.
Listen, last game you had 24, right?
Yeah.
So you were on. So like, we don't even know if he was off that game, because like, you don't know if you're off with just 9 shots in the game. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's
like,
true.
You're one of the top options in the team.
Right.
You should be taking 17, 18 shots at the least. You know, when we've had another guy, the guy that was manning the position before Kemba, that guy was taking like 33 shots a game, like. You know, telling us he should have scored. You know, he should have shot 35. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which I didn't agree with, but I'm just saying that to make a point. Like, you can't just take nine shots in a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't play like a role player when you're Kemba. You're a max contract guy. Let's come on, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something here.
You got to be more aggressive and be more assertive, and that's the thing I've noticed with Kemba is that at times he's too unselfish and defers too much to JT and JB. But in these games, particularly in this series, he's got to, look for his shot more. And even though he hasn't been shooting it as high of a percentage as he used to, he's still got to continue to take those shots that, that he's given, that the defense gives him, and continue to actually be in attack mode, because he hasn't been attacking as much as he should have, John. So no, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. Somebody needs to like whisper into Kemba's ear during the game, "You're Kemba Walker." You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're Kemba. Go out there, do Kemba shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's put some beautiful games together. Don't get me wrong, but like, listen, in a game like that where Jaylen Brown sucked.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Like,
straight
he wasn't
trash.
getting it. Like, he missed like 8 3-pointers or something like that.
8 in a row, I think.
8 in a row?
Right, yeah. So, something like that.
If he makes half those shots, we win the game. You know what I'm saying? If Kemba took half those shots from Jaylen, we win the game. You know, in my opinion.
JT didn't have it going either.
He didn't have it going either, but like, it's not like the Raptors were blowing us out. You know, all we needed was, and that brings us to, why we miss a guy like Gordon Hayward, man. Speaking of Gordon Hayward, he has a potential to come back. Maybe, if this game goes to a 7-game, he could be back for a game 7. Now, that hasn't been like reported or anything like that. They've said that he's nowhere close to returning, but I feel like, I don't know, he's been out for a little while now, on that ankle. So
yeah, but I think he's only been out 2 weeks. I think it takes 4 weeks for that. No,
he's been out longer than 2 weeks now.
No,
right?
No, it's.
How long has it been since we swept?
So he was out in game one. Game 1, he got injured of the Philly series, and then ever since then he hasn't played.
Game 1 was when?
For the Philly series,
yeah,
I forgot. That's old news.
It was either August 17th or August 18th.
So it's been a good amount of time right now.
Okay,
and I feel like he should. Listen, when you see guys, somebody like Luka Doncic going through that and then coming back and dropping those points on them dudes, it's like, come on, man.
But I think he's just more severe. But nevertheless, I think we do miss him a little bit. I think when Kemba is off the floor, I think we need somebody to.
He's the best passer.
The best passer, the playmaker, not playmaker, but he brings the ball out, right? Like, I feel like so he can.
The offense.
Yeah. I feel like so he can initiate the offense a lot more, but. Nevertheless, I feel like so we can win this series without him.
We can.
Absolutely.
And we should be winning this series without him.
Absolutely.
And I've been very disappointed with Jason Tatum. I mean, everybody's been telling me Jason Tatum is the next superstar in the NBA. I honestly haven't seen that. I haven't seen that.
That's fair.
I need Jason Tatum to not only play 40 minutes, but score 30 points a game if he can.
Fact.
He should be scoring that.
Should be
Game two, I texted you guys and I was like, this is when I would right before Smart scored 5 3-pointers. I was like, this is when I need Tatum to take over the game. And luckily,
I remember you did say that.
Luckily, Smart did. But this is when I need Jason Tatum to be like, yo, just give me the ball. Give me the ball. Clear out. Yo, give me the ball, man. Yo, clear out.
Yep.
And then don't even set the screen. Just
clear out. And then let me do it.
Get the fuck out the way, man.
Yo, if I see that, I'm in love with that dude. I haven't been in love with Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown has been the most consistent player of that series until yesterday.
Yeah.
Until yesterday, he's been the most consistent player. But that's what happens. Every once in a while, your guy is gonna have an off day. You know what I mean? LeBron had an off day. LeBron had an off day game 1. You know what I mean?
I feel like
you need if Jason Tatum was stepping up, if
Kemba
Walker was stepping up, it would have been, hey, Jaylen Brown had a bad game, but the other guy stepped up for him. You know what I mean?
I feel like
but it just hasn't happened.
Yesterday was pretty mental. You know, I feel like that
for the whole team, to be honest.
Yeah, but more so for Jalen, because I feel like he was grossly off yesterday.
He was grossly off,
and he had a lot of open shots, man. And usually he sinks those. And I feel like he's one of those guys that he's a thinker, and I think sometimes things are too much into his head and stuff like that. It kind of reminded me of the series between Cleveland and Celtics, where they went 7, and that last game they just couldn't hit anything.
Oh my God,
they just couldn't hit anything at all.
And George Hill cooked us that game
and
too.
it just reminded me of that right there.
Jeff Green. I hate Jeff Green.
Me too. Can't stand that guy.
Yeah, man. But Barry, did you have any thoughts on Gordon Hayward, and if we're missing him, how much do we miss him?
I mean, I think we don't really miss him that much. I say that because I think that the team's been able to hold themselves together and play pretty well for the most part, with the exception of a couple games throughout this run, and particularly during this series. Without Gordon Hayward, I don't think that his absence is too much of a factor. Like, yeah, it affects the bench and the depth, and not having another guy that you don't need to really run plays for, and that you don't really need to worry about him in terms of making sure that he gets his shots. But I think other than that, there's certainly not too many things and reasons why his absence is really missed out there. I get that he certainly makes plays and is good when he's with the second unit, but I still think we can play better, without him, and that the chemistry's better. I think that Tatum and Brown play better when he's not there, and I think those guys just need to play, better and at a high level, and then it need to be, at the top of their game, and they haven't been that, particularly in the last couple games, especially what we saw in Game 4. So, be nice to have him back if he does come back, but I don't really think it affects too much as far as how far the Celtics go, and even if they can win this series, because this is certainly a series that should have been won, or they should at least be able to find a way to win, without him being on the floor. So we'll see if he comes back, and when he does. But I mean, I don't think they're missing him too much out there.
I think I disagree. I think they can definitely win the series without Gordon Hayward, but I think they definitely miss him out there, man. I think we're seeing that because we're not scoring consistently, right? And if you're watching, you're seeing Marcus Smart actually bring up the ball, because they take the ball out of Kemba Walker's hands. You know what I'm saying? Just so he could play off ball a little bit and create a little more. And I think they're trying to take the pressure off Kemba as well with the defense and stuff like that. And maybe health has something to do with it. But I definitely feel like if Gordon was there, Marcus didn't have to hold those responsibilities, right? I feel like, Gordon is more efficient than Marcus, obviously. So the first unit could actually use that. And, we just have more scoring options when Gordon Hayward is out there, man. JT, JB, they can go out and, be on the bench or whatever. And we know that, the scoring will not drop off like drastically like that. And I don't know. I like Marcus Smart coming off the bench, to secure that second unit, and I feel like when he's not in that second unit and it's Brad that comes in, with with Robert Williams and all that stuff. Something's missing there.
It's hard to score. Yeah,
it's hard to score.
Right.
You know, Marcus Smart, he's probably like the best lobber on the team. So like he plays pretty well with Robert Williams coming off the bench, and I feel like, you know, he's definitely, you know, I have confidence in Marcus, but like he's not a consistent scorer. You know, we know that.
Yeah.
He hasn't been consistent. He's gotten a lot better over the years, but like we know for sure that Marcus, he's not the guy you want to come in and taking, you know, those crucial shots that we need, you know, when we're trying to keep the game close. And sometimes, you know, when he's out there with Jason and JB and Kemba, and he's still taking these shots, I'm like, you didn't have to take that shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, make a better shot, you know. One of those, you know, coming up with 20-something second left, with like 18 seconds left on the floor, Marcus is, you know, rising for a fucking shot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I love
Run the
Marcus. Don't get me
offense.
wrong, you know, but like, run the offense, bro. You know, let the ball touch some other hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, get some ball flow going, because I feel like the first couple of games, that's what we did. You know, and then the last couple of games, we stopped doing that. And I feel like when Marcus, sometimes he ripped those 5 shots, and then he's like, yo, I got it going now. So, like, he's going to shoot pretty much like every shot that he gets that he's mildly open.
Yeah.
And
he's gonna get trigger happy.
I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? That's the only part about it I don't like, and I feel like we do miss Gordon Hayward, because I know Gordon, he's a smart player. He's gonna make the right pass. He's gonna make the right assist. He's going to set the offense where it needs to be and give it what it needs when he's out there on the court. So I definitely do think we do miss him. But again, I think we could definitely still win the series without him. You know, and I'm definitely not gonna switch up on the Celtics, because I've seen some long series, you know, where we came through. You know, I feel like Raptors definitely have confidence, but I haven't seen too many games this year where the Celtics are losing 4 in a row. You know what I mean? I haven't seen that. Have you guys this year?
Well, they don't have to lose 4 in a row.
4 in a row would be 3 in a row.
Exactly.
Right.
It would
If
be
they
3 in a
lose
row.
tomorrow
But
night.
like, we've lost 2 times in a row now. So like, I don't see them losing another 2 times straight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's definitely gonna go like the long way, if anything. I think we can definitely win the next game.
If we don't win, that play will be talked about forever.
For real.
Oh, yeah.
That play
For
will
sure.
be talked about
Absolutely.
forever.
For sure, man. For sure.
No question.
Yeah, but I appreciate the thought on this question. When it comes to the NBA, some things that happened, we talked about some people getting some awards and stuff like that, and those were Brendan Ingram from New Orleans Pelicans. He won the Most Improved Player of the Year. I thought that was cool. I was cool with that. Were you guys cool with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I was cool with that. Ja Morant, I think everybody knew he was going to win Rookie of the Year, so I was cool with that as well.
Yeah.
I'm
Even
fine
cool with the
that,
fact
too.
that Zion only got 1 vote, because he shouldn't have gotten any. Anyway.
Right, didn't play enough games.
Nope. Montrezl Harrell from the Clippers, he won the 6th Man of the Year. That was pretty cool.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that either. I thought it was going to be I take that back. I did not think that was pretty cool. I thought Dennis Schroeder got robbed. I thought he got robbed, man.
Yeah.
Because I thought he did his thing all year. Yeah, for sure, man.
No, I mean, I'm okay with Montrez, winning it, but you're right. I certainly would have thought that Schroeder would have gotten more votes and, was the leading candidate and the favorite to win, but.
I'm not saying that Montrez shouldn't have won, but I feel like they have a high-powered team, and a lot of those games they're gonna win without him anyway. And I feel like for OKC they need Dennis Schroeder to do his thing to actually have success in the games.
But I guess a lot of time the Clippers didn't have the whole starting 5, so I didn't watch enough Clippers game to say that Montrezl Harrell deserved it. I'm sure he did. I'm not against it. But I was surprised. But congratulations to him.
Yeah, facts.
Definitely
congrats to them. Another person we got to say congrats to is Steve Nash was named the head coach in a surprising move, actually. He was named the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, and that had a lot of interesting interesting comments from people around the league. You know, some people were definitely very happy, and some people, you know, had some interesting things to say. And I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith. He made a comment about it when when the news came out, and he made he said a lot of things about, you know, Steve Nash being one of the best point guards that ever played, and, you know, as he's Hall of Fame worthy, and he's a coach on the floor and things like that. But his comment was, this one's one of the toughest positions I've ever had to take. Smith said on the air, he said, ladies and gentlemen, there's no way around this. This is white privilege. This does not happen for a black man. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Hold on. Damn, that's fucking crazy.
You better get up, boy.
It's over.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get up, yeah, it's over.
It's over. You ready, Vlad?
I'm gonna let Barry go first on that one.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Stephen A's comments? Okay. And you start off. My thoughts are.
Yeah, my thoughts are, you know, I can kind of see what he's saying here, that, you know, there's a lot of black coaches that haven't gotten the opportunity to, you know, be, a coach that haven't had coaching experience, or that have had coaching experience and haven't gotten a second chance or another chance with another team. So I'm not really surprised that he said it. You know, I definitely see what, you know, the point he's trying to make here in terms of, you know, the racial, you know, inequality with not, you know, getting these opportunities for, you know, black people and the black coaches in the NBA, because there's not really too many black coaches in the NBA, and it seems like even when they are black coaches, they don't have that kind of job security and the leash that, you know, the white coaches do, and particularly with
Brett Brown.
There you go, exactly, perfect example, Vlad. Right. No, that's a good, you know, point for sure. Like, you know, how many, you know, black coaches and minority coaches do see that were in the situation that Brett Brown was, that were able to keep, you know, their job as long as he was, until he just recently got fired and parted ways with the Sixers. So it, you know, it was appalled, you know, by, you know, this hiring. You know, with all due respect to Steve Nash, you know, you know, he was certainly a great player, and, you know, it seems like he's a great guy and has a good, you know, basketball mind, and, you know, could, you know, be successful and do well, is being the head coach of the Nets. But, you know, at the same time, it's kind of frustrating that, you know, black people aren't, and black coaches aren't getting these kind of opportunities with no head coaching experience. I felt like they should have hired a guy that has head coaching experience, and that's been proven to, you know, in the NBA, and that's had success, and that's proven to, you know, coach, you know, high-profile superstars, since the Nets have a couple of ones on their team. So, I mean, we'll see what happens and how it goes with the Nets next year, and if this can coexist, if he can coach KD and Kyrie. But, you know, I'm certainly, you know, with Stephen A. on his comments about this hiring, and can, you know, think he certainly raises a good point in this regard.
I agree with you, Barry, and I agree with Stephen A. Smith as well. One thing that has came up is that KD and Kyrie are the ones making the decision over there with the Nets, and that they had input in who the coach was gonna be, so they chose. They basically chose Steve Nash, but but it's clear and blatant that it is white privilege. This guy, and like Stephen A. Smith had prefaced that Steve Nash is one of the greatest point guard in the NBA history. He deserved the coaching. And I think Stephen A. Smith even went to say that he's gonna be a great coach. You know what I mean? And it's not that he has no hate toward him at all, and that he deserved that coaching position. But nevertheless, this is an example of white privilege, meaning this is an example of somebody that didn't have any experience doing this thing, and he gets the job. Last time I saw Steve Nash, I was watching the Champions League, which is a soccer league, and he was the announcer for the soccer league.
Wow.
That's the last.
So he was announcing soccer.
That's the last thing he did. He was a commentator. He would comment at halftime. That's what he did. That's what he. That was his last job. Wow. So for him now to go from that to NBA, come on, right, man. Like let's be serious. Like I have a lot of admiration for Steve Nash as well, but that's what white privilege is, and this is, I mean, it's I'm gonna make a terrible comparison that people might not like, but it's like the President Trump getting the presidency. You know what I mean? Right. Somebody that has no experience doing that shit, and he's up there now making important decisions with people's lives. I'm not saying, obviously, I'm not comparing Steve Nash to Trump, because Steve Nash is a much better person, a much better player, a much better NBA person. He knows his basketball, so I'm sure he might do a great job. He might win the championship next year or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But nevertheless, that case is a case of white privilege, where somebody with no experience comes in and get the job, where as a black person, it'll be really hard for you to get that job with no experience. When there were proven coaches with winning records, with championship winning records out there, like Ty Lue, like you mentioned, like Mark Jackson, like you mentioned, or is it John that mentioned that? Whoever mentioned it,
I did.
Like there's guys that out. Anyways,
and even Albin Gentry, who was an assistant coach with the Warriors and has been a good coach in this league for a while. Even he was, certainly another guy that qualified and that the Nets could have looked at for this position that, that didn't get that chance. So, no, I definitely hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't have to say more.
I think you guys are going to be surprised on my stance on that. I don't know, man. Stephen A. Smith, I understand, the things he does. I appreciate him for speaking up for, the minority coaches all the time. Sometimes I just feel like, some of these comments, you need to, like, hold them for, like, the right moments. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that if you look at it in certain ways, you could definitely see that, right? But I feel like it wasn't warranted in that moment. And I feel like he's ruffling some feathers and stuff like that. And, I feel like there's definitely more issues when it comes to, like, the black communities that, he could be talking about other than this right here. And I feel like some people, sometimes they get annoyed with hearing stuff like that. And sometimes I don't blame them. There's definitely been several point guards that's been hired as head coaches without any experience. Mark Jackson was actually one of them. And so was Magic Johnson. He was one of them. And Jason Kidd was one of them. So there's been, like, situation where point guards get hired as head coaches without any prior experience. And I think it's because of the position on the team in itself. Like, the point guard is looked upon as the coach on the floor, and if you've followed Steve Nash's career, like, everywhere he's gone, one of them people rave about him is how smart he is, how when he's on the court, he, pretty much directs everything that's going on the court. Even Mike D'Antoni was like, hey, when the last plays came, I just told Steve Nash, get the guys together. You know what I'm saying? Like, the play was give the ball to Steve Nash and he will decide where the ball is going. And also Steve Nash has a relationship with KD. When he went to Golden State, Steve Nash was one of like the assistants. He worked with Golden State in some capacity over there, so they do have a relationship. And I believe he also has a relationship with the GM as well. So, yeah, I feel like it didn't just like come out of nowhere. And when it comes to like Ty Lue, Kyrie has dealt with Ty Lue before, you know, where they've actually bumped heads, where Kyrie was telling Ty Lue, like, I don't set up other people. That's 23's job, referring to LeBron James. You know, so that's been something. So I don't see him, you know, actually getting that job. And I don't know, the fact that he's coached LeBron James, I don't know if KD's like want to sign up for LeBron's old coach and shit like that. But that's just like something that I'm thinking outside the box. And with the comment in itself, I feel like sometimes that could be a detriment to our people. You know, like when you're constantly commenting on it, I feel like sometimes people are going to be reluctant to hire the people that should be hired because they're so worried that people are going to think they're being hired just because they're black. You know what I'm saying? So in that regard, I feel like it could be a detriment to us. Again, I could see, you know, where Stephen A. Smith comes through that conclusion, you know, and definitely would like to see more minority coaches. But I feel like, you know, you shouldn't just hire minority coaches just because like people are saying, hey, y'all should hire minority coaches.
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's saying that white coach got hired without experience when a black coach wouldn't get that. It will be really hard for a black coach to get that same job.
It is hard, but it's happened.
It happens, but it's very rare.
Yeah.
And like I said, Steve Nash was in soccer.
Yep.
He was in soccer. Like I was shocked.
He wasn't even in basketball. He didn't even.
I was shocked when I heard.
Yeah,
and listen. Steve Nash is a great basketball player, and if he was on a basketball coaching, if he was like part of a coaching staff,
assistant coach,
we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No, absolutely not.
It just came out of nowhere.
Right, exactly. This was certainly.
I don't know, man. I heard
and out of the blue.
I heard the comments, and I don't know. Me personally, I was a little turned off by it. I'm just like, so you're gonna praise that guy all like that, and then say this right here is white privilege.
And I agree, because I don't think it has nothing to do with Steve Nash. It's not about Steve Nash. It's about the hiring. It's about what happened to the hiring, the person that they hired. It's not. Steve Nash is a great person. He should get a coaching job, but can he at least coach another team first, or can he at least be an assistant coach?
Right,
can
like
he
get some coaching experience before you become a head coach, right?
I mean sometimes you gotta look outside the box.
When I first heard of it, I definitely thought, whoa, when did that come from? And I definitely thought white privilege. I mean, I didn't say it out loud, but I was just like, whoa, like, where did that come from? Like, why is he getting that job? You know what I mean? Right. So, and when Stephen A. Smith said it, I definitely felt as though he was speaking what I was thinking.
Yeah, white privilege was definitely not in the back of my mind when I heard it. I was just like, oh, shit, that's crazy, you know? Mm-hmm. And me, I'm thinking, how is he going to handle KD and
I was thinking
Kyrie?
About that, too, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then report comes out that, obviously the stars of the team do have a say. So, hey,
of course.
We'll see what they say about that when they ask them a question, when it comes to that right there. But thank you guys for your thoughts. No I think stuff like that's important to discuss. But that's gonna be it for the NBA. We've had a long NBA discussion, man. Because that's what's happening right now.
Absolutely, that's the main league that's going on. Right.
But let's move on to the NFL. A lot of things are going on with the NFL. First and foremost, I wanted to start with some NFL news. Number one, NFL is back this Thursday. right?
Yes, yes, sir.
And that's
Football's back.
I think that's the 10th, right?
Yep, 10th is the first game between the Texans and the Chiefs.
Yep,
Opening
Kansas City
night.
Chiefs and the Houston Texans playing opening night right there. So we're excited about that. Some news on the NFL. Adrian Peterson got released by the Washington football team. And he signed with the Detroit Lions already.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, that's big. I like the Detroit Lions for him. Leonard Fournette got released by Jacksonville Jaguars. You know. He thought he was going to be there forever, and, you know,
Right.
every time a player says some shit like that, you know they're getting cut that season.
You hear something about him being, or the so-called Tim Duncan and the Jacksonville Jaguars? Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. Cut. But since then, you know, not even like 2 days later, he signed with the Bucks. You know, they're trying to develop a dream team over there for some reason.
Yeah, linking up with our boy TB12 in Tampa.
You know, they're like, you know, trying to be the Cleveland Browns of last year, you know, trying to load up and everything. So we'll see how that happens, how that works, right? Logan Ryan, former Pats cornerback, he was recently with the Titans. He just signed with the Giants, you know.
Didn't he pick off Tom Brady's last pass as a Patriot?
Yes, he did.
Actually,
he did.
That's what goes a pick six.
That's a good trivia question. Who ended Tom Brady's Patriots career?
Right,
Logan Ryan, his former teammate.
That's right.
I don't like the way you're coming out my boy like that.
My bad, dude. Josh Gordon missed. Damn, you know, marijuana's out of the drug testing stuff, so you know Josh Gordon doesn't have a problem coming back.
Hopefully he stays in the league.
Right.
Did you hear he sold his Super Bowl ring?
Yeah,
Yes, I did.
he didn't earn that shit anyway.
It doesn't matter,
Still,
man.
I don't care. Like,
He did. He played 10 games.
Right.
10 games, man. Nah.
yeah, but I feel like if you didn't play none of the playoffs, you just sat there and watched. I don't know.
You played more than half of the regular season.
I know people that
You
play
should
less
be
game
able
than
to-
that ain't got their ring. No.
Right. You should keep your ring. You shouldn't sell it. But I mean, we don't know his situation.
Yeah.
Maybe he needed, you know, the money needed to sell it. Who knows? What triggered him and what made him decide to sell it. But no, that was definitely head scratching and, you know, questionable as far as, you know, why he decided to sell the ring. But yeah, that's crazy and yeah, unbelievable to say the least.
Yeah, man. So he got re-signed by the Seahawks, who they're looking pretty good, man. With their rosters looking pretty good, at receiver anyway. So that's what's going on with the Seahawks. Steven Gostkowski, Patriots former kicker, he signed with the Titans yesterday, I believe. So that's pretty cool.
No, earlier in the week.
Earlier in the week, maybe 2 days ago. It wasn't that long ago that I heard he got signed.
It was at least a couple, like 2-3 days ago.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
There we go. Saints and Titans were pretty much in a bidding war for Jadeveon Clowney, and this morning the Titans won, so they're signing Jadeveon Clowney. That's cool right there. Deshaun Watson signed a 4-year, $177.54 million worth deal with $111 million guaranteed. So get paid, young brother, get paid.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So we like that right
Big
there.
Shout out to Deshaun Watson.
Another guy that got signed by the Bucks is actually just happened. Josh Rosen. You know, so he'll probably learn some stuff from the GOAT.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
And I actually like that very much for him because he hasn't been. He's been going through some shit now, you know.
That's his third team in
already.
That
3
is his
years,
third
right?
team.
3 seasons, 3 teams.
His third season coming up, right?
Yeah, I think he's been served the raw deal, man.
But Blaine Gabbert is not.
Nah,
I don't know
man,
if you
come
want
on.
Blaine Gabbert as your backup.
Listen,
Yeah,
Blaine,
exactly.
Blaine,
And if Brady can really like coach up Josh Rosen, you know, let him in on some of the secrets, hey, maybe.
hey, I think Josh Rosen is one of those quarterbacks that's been given a raw deal, right? Just based on the circumstances around him, you know. Arizona draft him, and then they hire Cliff Kingsbury, whatever his name is, and they got the number 1 pick, and Kyler Murray happens to be available. You know what I'm saying? So, then you go to the Dolphins, and then
they draft Tua.
You draft Tua. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
And
they've been doing him dirty. Yeah.
There's something about quarterbacks when the team that has him that didn't draft them, they don't last very long, or they don't get given that chance.
But now he's playing behind the GOAT.
Hey, hopefully he can watch the GOAT for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I think 2 years tops before he takes over that right there. But that's what's going on. In Patriots news, right? So this week was big for the Patriots. Cam Newton was named the starter, which wasn't very surprising. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big shout out to Cam Newton. Congrats, bro.
Congratulations to Superman.
Hey, man, listen. The one thing I'm waiting for is Cam Newton to rip that first 40-yard run.
Yes, and then do that shit.
You know what I mean?
I'm not looking forward to that.
No, I want to see.
You don't want him to see the.
I don't want to see 40-yard run by Cam Newton.
No, ending up in a slide.
No, I don't want to see.
Why do you think he's gonna get popped or?
I don't want to see Cam Newton run. I want to see him throwing the ball.
Yeah. When it comes to health,
if it's a QB sneak, if it's 5 yards, if it's something easy where he's not gonna get hit, I'm okay with it. 40 yards, nah, I don't need to see that.
No, I don't mind the long runs, and I think that's gonna happen.
If you want,
this receiving core and their lack of guys being able to get separation and get open, he's gonna have to do some scrambling and pull off some big runs and be super Cam for this team. So I wouldn't be surprised.
If you want a healthy Cam Newton for the whole season, I don't want to see that.
Listen. I'm just saying,
as long as he's not getting hit, that's fine.
Listen,
and what's the potential of getting hit if you're running 40 yards? Higher than not running 40 yards. Exactly.
But
I don't want to see that.
Let's say he has a clear path, man. He could run out of bounds or something.
Only if he has a clear path.
Listen, I haven't seen Cam Newton run a 40-yarder like that in like 2 years, and I'm actually excited to see that, to see if Cam Newton's like fully healthy and can actually still do these things, because when that dude is rolling, he's fucking rolling. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And not only that was he named the starter, he was actually named one of the captains of the team, along with Matthew Slater, David Andrews, James White, Jerome Bentley, Lawrence Guy, Devin McCourty, Jason McCourty.
I was surprised by Jason McCourty.
Yeah,
and I was also surprised. Oh no, I wasn't surprised, but I knew you would be excited with Jerome Bentley.
Yeah, no, yeah. I really like that right there, Jerome Bentley.
Jerome Bentley,
yeah. And I'm definitely excited about that right there. And in other news, the Patriots released Mohamed Sanu and Lamar Miller, which is pretty disappointing for Mohamed Sanu, because we got him for a second-round pick right there.
What a bad trade.
That was a bad trade.
Waste of a trade and waste of a second-round pick. Terrible.
Yeah, Brady chose him, though, and then he decided to leave, so that's cool.
Right. Damn.
Right. And the Patriots, like we said, the NFL is back, and the Patriots play the Dolphins this week, who are going to start Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback.
That was named?
Yeah.
They named
Tua is not starting. He's not starting.
Wow.
Yeah. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been getting the first team reps all off season.
Training camp.
Yeah, all training camp, and even Ryan Fitzpatrick said it himself. He's like, "Hey, look, I'm mentoring this guy to come in, so I know I'm not the starter. I know what my role is. I'm gonna do what I do, and he's gonna come in and do what he does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's like a bridge quarterback. Exactly.
Fitzpatrick is a good dude. He knows.
I like him.
He knows his role, and he's gonna play it well.
Listen, he's a guy that's smart and that's been making money in the NFL for years.
Yeah,
and doesn't give a shit what if he plays one play or he's starting. You know what I mean? And I like that, because if I'm a backup quarterback, I'd still get my money.
Get your bags, get your bread.
He'll throw 5 touchdowns this week, 4 interceptions the next week.
He'll probably throw 5 touchdowns this week because he's playing the freaking Patriots.
But let's talk about that game, though.
Pick this apart. That last game we played them, the last regular season game of the year.
Right. We play them this week, and definitely want to hear your thoughts about the Patriots versus Dolphins this week. It seems like we open up the year against the Dolphins or the Jets every single year. So, what are your thoughts on this? We don't have Brady no more. Usually we count on a certain type of outcome. What do you think about it this year?
Well, we're playing at home, so I do expect us to win. It's going to be, I don't know exactly what to expect, but I feel as if Belichick is going to come out with a win. But I feel also Brian Flores knows the Patriots, so I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I do see us winning, but I think it's going to be a close game, or maybe a 21-17.
Yeah, I think certainly the Patriots are gonna win this game. Being the season opener, I think these guys will be ready to play. Offensively they will struggle. So I think defense is gonna have to step up and carry the load for this first game against the Dolphins. I think Miami could pull off the upset without question. I can see a similar game to what we saw last year during the regular season with the last regular season game that we played them. So I think it's gonna be that kind of game, but I'll see the Patriots winning in a very slim margin. Patriots 24, Dolphins 21.
Okay. For me, I don't know what to think about the Patriots, man. I'm glad that we have Cam Newton. He's named the starter, but other than that, other than Julian Edelman, I don't know who else do we have, on offense. We're starting.
We got the running backs. James White,
N'Keal Harry, bro?
Yeah, N'Keal Harry. He's our second receiver.
Yeah, I know that, but don't even mention N'Keal Harry, man, right now, because he hasn't done shit to even be, named.
But they're gonna have to depend and rely on him.
Yeah,
to
what
be
I'm saying is N'Keal Harry
in order to be
is not a
good
name.
offense. They're gonna need a lot from him. There's a reason why they've been cutting all these receivers and why he's still on the team. He's gonna have to be a top option for them offensively.
He's on the team because he's a first round pick, man. I get
that.
That's the only reason.
He hasn't played enough football yet for him in order to see if he's a good player or not, or to see if he's a bust or not. So I still want to see what he can do in a full season and a full, and being healthy.
You're just making my plan for me. We haven't seen shit from N'Keal Harry, so I don't even want to name him when it comes to the Patriots and their arsenal. So right now, I know we have Cam Newton, we have Julian Edelman, we have James White. Those are our top guys right now on offense. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, everybody else has to prove something. Tight ends have to prove something.
We got Sonny Michel.
God. We got Rex Burkhead.
Rex Burkhead. All right, see, we're losing this game, man. If you guys, if that's what you guys are telling me, to look forward to, I don't know what's gonna happen, man. So I definitely could see the Dolphins winning this game, man. Just because it's gonna be our first time. I feel like if we win, it's because they don't know what we're about to do. Because we have Cam Newton, the offense should be pretty much a new offense, with some. Of the old stuff sprinkled in there, but they're going to play the Cam Newton strengths. We're going to see a lot of run because, again, our receivers, dismal. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we get a big trade between now and then, but I don't know.
I doubt that.
But
I think that unpredictability, like you said, is going to be a factor.
I think it's definitely going to be a factor.
We win this game because it's going to be hard for the Dolphins to game plan against us, against our offense, because it's going to be a totally new offense than what we've had, ever pretty much. So Brian Flores isn't really going to know how to, game plan and stop, to stop our offense, since there's no tape or film or anything that can really, show what kind of offense we're going to run. So
there's plenty of tape on Cam Newton, man. It's not like, he's going to come here and do completely different things than Cam Newton has done in his past. So I feel like there is tape. There's not tape of him in the Patriots offense. But there's
Exactly,
definitely
that's my
tape
point.
on, Cam Newton, what he likes, the things he's successful at doing, and things like that. So I think the Dolphins can take it, but as a Patriots fan, that's not going to allow me to do that. So I'm going to say Patriots win 17-14. We'll see what happens, man. Good luck with that. But we're looking forward to that game coming up this Sunday coming up, man.
1 week away, yes.
Yeah, but that's...
If there's one sport that's going to look weird without fans, it's going to be football.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be weird without fans. Like soccer, I watch without fans. Basketball, I watch without fans. Hockey, I watch without fans. But I don't know what the hell football is going to look like. Because they have such a big field. Man, that's gonna look weird.
Yeah, man,
absolutely.
There's also one last news actually concerning the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs, they had their ring ceremony. Those guys got some beautiful rings, so congratulations to them on being the Super Bowl champs. And lastly, Pro Fan Sports Podcast, we are having a fantasy football league. And we advertised it, and thank you for the people that send their names in to be considered for the team. We're going to be letting you know exactly who it is come tomorrow night.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, by the time you hear this, is going to be named already. So come tomorrow, Monday, the 7th, everybody will know who's in there. And do not forget that the draft is on Wednesday, the 9th at 7 p.m. So please be there and make sure you're drafting because we don't like auto drafters.
Make sure you follow our social media accounts to get the updates. Because John will give you updates. Let you know exactly when the draft is. Let you know exactly when everything is happening.
Absolutely,
yes,
absolutely. Let's move on to the NHL, man. The Bruins. Last time we spoke about them. They've had a bunch of games, and unfortunately, they got eliminated by the Tampa Bay Lightning in 5 games. Concerning the Bruins, Chara, who should be retiring, in my opinion, he wants to stay with the Bruins. And in other NHL news, this is the NHL playoff picture right now. Flyers versus Islanders. They won 4-3, right? The Flyers won 4-3. The Lightning versus Bruin, they won 4-1. Golden Knights versus Canucks, they won 4. Golden Knights won 4-3. Stars versus Avalanche, Stars won 4-3. Right now, the conference finals is between Lightnings and the Islanders, and that starts Monday, September 7th at 8 p.m. Golden Knights versus Stars starts today, which is the 6th at 8 p.m. tonight. So, by the time you hear this, you probably see the game, and some more games might have happened. So, we're still keeping an eye on hockey, but our team, our number one team, is out of there. And I wanted to. Were you saying something?
I was just gonna say that one question I just wanted to ask, and we can go very quickly, is this the end of the Bruins? That Bruins team is at the end of their championship
window. Yeah, that was actually we're thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
You want me to go?
No, I think that championship window is over. I think like I talked about last week, I think it's time for some new blood, some new defensive new blood. Get rid of Rask, and if you get rid of Rask, and Chara is not there, I mean, it's basically the core of that team is basically gone. So it's really time for a new team to come in and hopefully give us hope.
Yeah, you disagree?
I think that this championship window is open, but very soon to be closing. I think they're gonna have to get these guys and surround them with, much more young talent and much more goal scoring as well. Like, we're gonna see the second, third, and fourth lines, with better players and guys that can actually, score and make plays out there. I think if, you can keep these guys at least for another year or so, you can make another run at Stanley Cup and possibly be able to get by the Lightning, but they're gonna need to add a lot more, young talent and speed as well. I think they have to get faster because I feel like they're you know, when they face a fast team like the Lightning that has pretty good speed, and that can skate well, they look awfully slow. So I feel like if you surround them with the right pieces, you can possibly get another Stanley Cup run out of these guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna side with Vlad on this one, man. I think that championship window is closed. I don't think Chara can handle it anymore. I feel less and less confident in Rask, and you know, I feel like anything can happen with that guy. You know, granted, you know, he had some family situations going on, but I don't like how things with him transpire sometimes. And I feel like, you know, I kind of compare them to the Bucks. You know, the regular season they're doing really well. You know, they won the President's what is it? Trophy.
Yeah, best regular season record.
Best regular season, and then they go into the playoffs and like shit a brick. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I definitely think they've been in the playoffs the last couple of years. What, they lost the Stanley Cup?
Last year.
Yeah, last year, and then this year.
Last year was the year to win it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Game 7, they should have won it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Especially having that at home, like you got to find a way to win that, and they were a better team in the Blues, right? They blew their chance without question in that series. So
yeah, I definitely think they need to bring some solid defensemen. Some speed, definitely, like Barry was saying, is definitely needed out there because, you know, Chara's definitely lost some speed over the years, and he's pretty much a top defenseman, you know. So I definitely don't think the Bruins are going to go back into, like, you know, a Stanley Cup. I don't think they can do that next year, you know. So I do think for right now it's closed. So
even if Rask gets his head together and actually plays well, and
that's if Rask even comes back.
I don't want to see Rask, man. It's how many times you're gonna say, "Oh, hopefully he does better." It's like a relationship with an ex. You're on and off. It's like, oh, this time it's gonna be better. This time it's gonna be better. No, we know what Rask is.
Yeah, his body language sucks too, man. I really don't like it. But
I hear what you
who are we gonna get that's better than Rask right now? Where are we gonna get him?
You need to develop a new.
It's just not that easy. You know?
Exactly.
It's
not that easy,
it's tough to develop goals. It takes a while too.
It's not that easy, but I'm saying going back to that same girlfriend, it's not gonna happen, man. It's never gonna get better.
But that girlfriend is still performing well. Rask is still performing well. He just. You know,
it's not gonna get you over the hump.
Listen, it's like that. You know, that last relationship is still better than one you're gonna get right now. You know,
the last relationship, one of the top goalies in the league, still, and a finalist for the top goaltender award in the league.
Exactly.
I'm telling y'all, sometimes you have to make the hardest decision and move from something that hasn't.
Sometimes looks don't matter. Okay.
Sometimes you gotta go the ugly route.
But I don't want to keep talking about this. We gotta move.
We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
We'll definitely leave it at that. But you know, hey man, still, you know, as always, go Bruins, man, and hopefully they put something together and keep the team competitive. If anything, I definitely do want to still see a competitive team.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
you know, we'll keep you updated on what's going on with the NHL and the standings and the playoffs that's happening right now. So hopefully we have 2 good series and going into the Stanley Cup, man. But we're gonna move into the MLB. Right now, the Red Sox are still terrible. Right, still terrible. So
exactly what's new, of course.
There's not really much to talk about. The Red Sox, they've made some trades. They got some minor league guys, people that are not even like worthy to talk about right now. You know, so they're looking to stock up their farm system is what it looks like is happening. You know, I think Bloom is doing the right stuff. You know, by obviously our team's been depleted and we don't have any ammo to do anything. You know, as far as trades, we got to pay people to come here, you know, and the appeal has definitely dwindled over the year, you know, with Mookie Betts leaving and all that stuff. You know, it's just not, it doesn't have the same feel around the team as it used to, right? Especially this year with Corona and, you know, the games, 60-game season, it's crazy. But the Red Sox are definitely not in any picture, like playoffs or anything like that. But here are the standings for the AL East. The Rays are leading the East right now with 27 wins and 13 losses. Then comes the Blue Jays with 21-18 record. The Yankees are right behind them, tied with 21-18 record. And then Orioles come in on fourth with 18-21 record, and then Red Sox terrible with 14-27 record. So this is a year where they need to blow things up and start rebuilding from scratch, man. It's one of those situations where like I said, our team got depleted, trying to win it now mode, which they did in 2018.
I hate the winning now mode.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I know it brings us championships, and it brought us 2 championships, one in 2013, one now. But I feel as though I like the Patriots method of like longevity.
Yeah. I like that too, man.
Good point, Vlad.
Yeah, but one thing that was interesting from the Red Sox is Kevin Pillar.
Who?
Exactly. He actually got traded to the Rockies after a controversial comment he made. And the comment was in regards to Jackie Bradley, who is one of the black players on the team. And
he's the only one.
Only black player on the team.
That's right.
Was Xander Bogaerts and Devers. They're
Latino,
right?
But they're minorities. You know what I'm saying?
Bogaerts is from Aruba, and then what's his name? Like you said, is
Dominican.
Latino, Rafael Devers. So
Yeah.
Right.
So
he's the only African American on the roster.
Right, and his comment was, it's a controversial comment, and his comment was, is it more important that we uplift Jackie because he's the only one, meaning like the only black player, which is offensive in itself. My answer would be no. He replied, I think it's important that we uplift everyone in this room. Jackie's our only African-American baseball player on this team, but like they mentioned, we do have a coach, we have a trainer. There are teams that have quite a bit more African-Americans on their teams, but what we did today was 1,000% in support of Jackie Bradley and others, because this is how they left. We wanted to show them support, that they weren't in this alone. I'm actually confused by that right there. Like, what is he saying?
I don't know. I have
what is
no
he
idea
saying?
What he's trying to say and what point he's trying to make. He's kind of like going all over the place.
Right. I think he wants to say like all lives matter, but we're doing this for Jackie. I don't. It's like
right. He comes off like that, right?
Yeah, it comes off like all lives matter-ish. Like, the only thing I have a problem is it important that we uplift Jackie because he's the only one? Like, what do you mean the only one? Like
the only black African American player on the team.
But it's like one of those things because he's the only one. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, man.
And I know it sucks. You had to like put it and mention it like that.
Yeah, there are definitely things that are controversial that happen in the sports world. I don't know about this one. I definitely, as a person, I'd say, dude, if you don't know the right stuff to say, stay away from making certain comments. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not
exactly right.
It doesn't go well for anybody,
man. Not seeing anything at all.
Exactly.
Right.
But either way, man, they traded his ass real quick. So, and Jackie Bradley, he is one of the longest tenured Red Sox players right now. So, he deserves respect, and he deserves support from his team and the organization, period. I don't think we can take anything away from that. And
and quick funny thing, they ended up trading Kevin Pillar for cash considerations and international slot money.
Yeah, because it sucks.
To me, that's hilarious. Right, exactly, because he's trash. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, he used to be good before he came here, but now he's just trash. He's garbage now. So, yeah, you definitely get all the cash you can in international slot money. That's the first time I've heard a player get traded for international slot money in baseball. So I thought that was pretty funny to me.
Yeah, let's move on to soccer, man. Vlad, help us out, please.
Yes. So big news. As we talked about last week, Messi was considering leaving Barcelona, and when I point out to John that any team that wanted Messi would have to pay $700 million to get Messi, he had already said there's no way he's going anywhere, and that's exactly what happened.
And who's gonna pay that?
Exactly. No team can afford that.
And he's older.
He
How old is he?
I mean, he's 33, but
Exactly.
Still in his prime.
but it's, he is.
Trying to look that you gave me.
33?
He is. Have you
That's
seen?
what I'm saying.
He's been. He scored the most goal in all the leagues last year. Like,
I'm thinking about age-wise. He's still
Right, he can still ball, right? Like, he's still playing at a high level.
Listen.
he's one of the top players in the.
Hey,
in
you guys
soccer.
watch more than me, so I'm not even gonna say nothing.
Anyways,
you know?
but the point.
Continue, Vlad.
Let's not keep this long.
Yeah.
The point is so what happened was Messi was trying to argue with Barcelona, trying to have them bring down the price so that Man City can afford Messi, but Barcelona didn't want to, and Messi wanted to avoid going to court and suing Barcelona, so he decided to stay. So, and I think also that's a good decision by him. I think he is Barcelona, and Barcelona is him. Since he came to Barcelona, Barcelona has been on fire, and I feel as though it'll be beautiful if he can keep his career there. And he's broken multiple records, and he has there's a record that was held by Pele, which is regarded as one of the best soccer players ever.
The best soccer player ever.
And I believe he's on either close to breaking or he's broken already. And I feel as though he can keep breaking those records if he's still with Barcelona. So hopefully it works. So hopefully Barcelona has a better plan than they've had in the past 4 years. Hopefully they can win the Champions League a couple more times before Messi leaves. The European Nation League came back for its second time. Some of the big games that happened was Germany played Spain, and that ended 1-1. Portugal played Croatia. Portugal beat Croatia 4-1. Belgium played Denmark, and that Belgium won that 2-0. France played Sweden, and Mbappe scored an amazing goal for France and beat Sweden 1-0. The top 5 leagues will be back pretty much this month. La Liga will be back Friday 9/11. The Premier League will be back Saturday 9/12. Bundesliga will be back Friday September 18, and the Italy Series A will be back Saturday September 19. Ligue 1, which is a French league, has already been back for 2 weeks now. Nice sit at the top of the table, but we're pretty sure that's not gonna be for long. Last MLS, the MLS season is still on the way after they had the comeback competition. New England Revolution is in 9th place in the Eastern Conference, and they're out of the playoffs right now, but hopefully they can work their way back into the playoffs.
Is that it?
Yes.
Wow, that was pretty quick, man.
That was a quick soccer
wait,
segment.
you said another league is back? Is that what you said? European Nation League?
So the European Nation League was founded last year. So last year they had the first tournament, and this year is the second tournament. And it just started on Thursday.
So Mbappe just lost one league, and now he gets to compete for another thing.
Yeah, so
soccer is the shit, yo. Like, so I can lose in 1 year and still go win another cup somewhere else.
Well, this is another season. This is a new season, though.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, another season.
The season has already started.
That's crazy.
Because of Corona. The season would have ended in May.
Yeah.
If it wasn't Corona. Right. But because of Corona, the season ended in August. Yeah. And then they had, I think, 2 weeks off, and then now the new season.
Wow!
Just 2 weeks, and then boom, right back.
I mean, they had 3-4 months off, chilling out.
Wow! All right.
Plenty of time to rest. Now that's fair point there.
All right. Well, thank you as always. For the soccer updates, we appreciate that, man. And hopefully the soccer lovers out there keep staying in tune, because Vlad got you, man. And last but not least, we're gonna do the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week, brought to you by Barry himself, man. So who we got this week?
So yes, the person who we have this week is the B Money Lifestyle is New England Patriots center David Andrews. So this week he was awarded the Ron Barton Community Service Award at the annual Patriots premiere, which is a thing they do every year, the week before football season, as the official kickoff of the season. So this award usually goes to a member of the team who that gets recognized for their outstanding commitment in giving back to the community and doing community service. So this year, David Andrews got that award, and he was the 18th player, Patriots player in the franchise history to receive the award. So as you know, for about David Andrews, he had missed all season last year due to the blood clots that he had in his lungs. So he has now made a full recovery in that he doesn't have those same issues anymore with his blood clots. So he was able to, get back to playing football and be medically cleared by the, Patriots medical staff. So definitely big shout outs to him for that. And he, during his time, while he wasn't playing football last year, he was still going out there and, staying busy and volunteering for many events that the Patriots do in their community to give back to those who need, who need it the most, and then back to the service of of their fan base. So that definitely shows the kind of person that he is, and that even not playing the game at all, he's still out there doing good things and positive things for the for the community in New England. So definitely big shout out to David Andrews on being this year's B Money Lifestyle.
You mean this week?
This week, right. Excuse me. Thank you, John. So, congrats to David Andrews on being nominated as the B Money Lifestyle Person of the Week this week.
Absolutely, man. Shout out to David Andrews, man. He's been through a lot the last couple of years with the blood clots and not being able to play the game he loves and still staying active in the communities and stuff. So, it's the kind of shit we like to see on this team. I mean, on this podcast. So, that's what's up, man. And that's going to be it for us for episode 25, man. If you're still listening, we appreciate it. If you're watching, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share the content, like us on social media, follow us everywhere, man. And until next time, we out, man. Peace out.
Peace.